Warning, the Dub Talk podcast contains language and content that may not be suitable for younger audiences. Listener discretion is advised. There will also be spoilers for various anime throughout the course of this episode. Please use caution in case we discuss a series that you haven't finished yet. Finally, the opinions expressed are those of the individual participants and may not reflect the Dub Talk podcast as a whole. Enjoy the show.
That song you just heard was by the wonderful Gabriel Puccinelli. You are listening to Dub Talk Radio. I'm your host, Jackson. It's a wonderful day in Hellsalem's lot. The skies are clear under the mushroom cloud. Traffic is moving smoothly along all major arteries. Survivability forecast is a high of 30% and a low of 2% for much of the downtown core. Now I'll turn it over to Megan with sports.
Remember, guys, it's not about the survival rate. It's about the Mets, baby! Love the Mets! Alright, let's get a home run! Love the Mets! Let's go Mets!
And I don't have anything else for this bit, so I will throw to Stephanie here, who's joining us.
You have the low-hanging fruit with me, and we're talking about a New York City adjacent. Bitch, you could have gone with a Broadway reference.
That would have been smart. Unfortunately, I'm not a smart man.
That would have been smart!
In the words of the great Sungwon Cho, but unfortunately her opponent was very stupid.
Also joining us today is Spaceman Hardy.
Yes!
Thank you, Mr. Kuwabara.
Yes!
That was the other bit I was considering for this. I just couldn't think of enough conjoining material.
No, that's just perfect. That's just the perfect part for Hardy and all this. Is just like, thank you, Mr. Kuwabara. Yes!
Yes!
What do you think, Mr. Kuwabara? Yes! That's all you need from him.
So today I'm joined by all three of the OG hosts.
What up?
To talk about Blockade Battlefront. We are doing another one of our 10-year retrospective episodes, and we are talking about a dub that came out 10 years ago.
That's some irony right there.
I feel older.
I was not on the podcast at the time. I joined much later. So when we were hashing out who would be able to cover what, I was just given carte blanche to, hey, covers anything you want. Pick something out of the hat.
Yeah, cause
let me just go right to the best one.
Because here's the thing. So realistically, when the project came to be, I gave the host the limit of pick something within like the first 3 years of the podcast's existence. And for specifically like Jackson being the big one in all this, because he came in much later, but I also gave leeway to some of the other hosts as well. Like, hey, if there's a show that you didn't get to do, let me know, and I'm pretty sure we can work something out. And Jackson immediately comes to me, he's like, hey, I would want to do Blockade Battlefront. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
Was the show even called Dub Talk Podcast at the time?
Yes, actually.
By that point, yes.
Just barely. You guys were doing series coverage at the time and predictions at the time.
Correct. So, even more context. So this is the first time we're actually talking about Blockade Battlefront in its entirety. Because we did impressions. I think we only cover, like, at maximum, I think maybe the first 2 episodes of the dub when we first covered the show. But at that time, we shifted it from Lilac Talks dubs to Dub Talk, I want to say, officially when it was Noragami. I think Noragami was the first episode where it officially shifted over. Now I have to backtrack. I'm going to look this up.
And now I'm going to ask you if this was one of the first simuldubs. Now, I think I did look that up, and it's not the first one. It just feels like one of the first ones.
I think it was like
it came close.
It
was like season 2 of Double Talk,
yeah,
when they were doing these regularly.
Yes. It was
yeah,
definitely
it's not Space Dandy, it's not Assassination Classroom or Death Parade, but
or Psychopath Season 3.
It's right up in there. What feels like a classic at this point, or even like a real transition period of we're going to start getting in a lot more new people at Funimation to start recording and doing these dubs much faster.
Mm-hmm.
I should start with the summary of this show, because no one knows what this show is anymore for some reason.
Oh man, that's depressing.
Uneducated children.
I see it in the context of like underrated gem or forgotten anime. So, since apparently no one's heard of this series, let me read a little snippet from ANN. One day, New York City, as we know it, vanished overnight in an event known as the Great Collapse. Now known as Hellsalem's Lot, it has become a place where another world beyond imagining is connected to our reality. The balance within this new world is protected by a secret society known as Libra. Leo, a photojournalist who arrives at the city, is unexpectedly recruited to join their ranks. This is, of course, the adaptation of the manga by Yasuhiro Naito, famously the author of Trigun.
And Gungrave. Or at least he was the artist for Gungrave.
That one too.
I also found the answer. So, okay, to answer the question of when this officially became Dub Talk, right? The last episode that was titled as Lilac Talks Dubs was the original Danganronpa animation episode that I did, released in April 24th, 2015. The first official Dub Talk episode was the first Noragami episode I did with Megan, which was released May 14th of 2015. The one after that was Blockade Battlefront.
The second one in there.
Correct.
No, I picked this one out because it is one of the best, and I've been looking for a reason to rewatch it. It would be criminal not to cover the entire dub. And also there was season 2 that came out that, I don't think everyone here had seen yet.
Yeah, this was my first time watching all the way through Beyond.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That ended up coming like 3 years after the fact, something like that.
Yeah, this is my second time watching through the second season, but it has been a long time. So I was way overdue for a rewatch.
I felt like doing, it's not going to come up much, but I felt like doing a weird experiment because season 1 was kind of told out of order, and we kind of got the season 2 episodes like pushed out of order. And I wondered if you could just do like a machete order watch along in like manga order to see if the events would like make more sense or flow more naturally. That was a poor decision. You don't need to do that. It's okay.
Oops.
For many reasons, mostly the season 1 original material, which was pushing out some of that season 2 material to later on, provides a lot of structure to an otherwise episodic series, and you kind of need that structure to be in that order. But no, it was things like pushing up the Butler episode and the Invisible Wolf episode. Steven's dinner party is much earlier in the series.
Okay, interesting.
It's events like that. It's not necessary to do it that way.
And there's still quite a bit of the manga material that did not get adapted to anime, right?
Yeah, but the manga's in like a weird place where it like goes on hiatus, it comes off hiatus.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's peculiar. I think it's at best like a monthly series. It might even be quarterly. And it's had several like, not spin-offs or sequels, but it goes off and then comes back with like Attack on Titan, the final chapters, that kind of thing.
Oh, boy.
It has subtitles like back-to-back, B2B or B3P, those kind of things.
Yeah.
Love
PS
it.
Vita.
PS Vita. Jesus Christ.
Cece's Pizza.
Oh my god.
Reese's Pieces.
HIJK Little Pete.
Call 1-800-JG Wentworth. 877 cash now.
8675309.
1-800 cars for kids.
How many more we got? How many more?
This has been an all-day thing.
Just a sprinkle a day helps keep odor away. Have you had your sprinkle today?
People have come prepared.
Call 188-EMPIRE.
See, that one I know. That's been regional here, too.
You'll never get nowhere smoking a pipe.
Yeah, no, it's strange to think that this one is considered like an underrated gem nowadays, because it feels like a classic. It's hard to say what put it under. Like, the big elephant in the room is probably the most likely scenario of the ending took 3 months to come out.
Yeah!
This one was a weird situation, because I think...
There were delays during the series, and then
Yeah.
the finale was not ready in time.
Yeah.
3 months later, we got a double-length final episode.
Yeah, the season 1 finale was a weird one because of that.
Even though it
delay.
fucking rules!
It was one of those where it was, like, worth the fucking wait, honestly.
Exactly. You know, we may never know what happened there. Like, the most clear word-to-God answer we've gotten from the director, Rie Matsumoto, was It was her first project over at Bones, and she was famously bad at scheduling at the time. And, we love Rie Matsumoto in this house. Please let Rie Matsumoto direct more anime.
She's finally coming out of jail!
Finally, 10 years later, she gets to do a new series. She's doing a adaptation of something called Fate Rewinder. If you're like us and have been waiting for a new series to come out, she's getting a new manga adaptation. I'd seen a commercial related to it, because this runs in the same manga as Doraemon. Koro Koro magazine, that was it. So everyone say thank you to Doraemon.
Thank you, Doraemon.
Thank you, Doraemon.
Yeah.
You can have all my yummy buns.
Very good, class.
All my homies love Doraemon. Fuck that Pikachu guy.
She's such a great director. Like, she's gotten to do some things in the meantime. Like, she did a chocolate commercial and a PV for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Called Baby I Love You Daze and Gotcha,
Oh wait,
respectively.
I can't say fuck you Pikachu to that. They let Rie Matsumoto do things. Fuck you, principal of My Hero Academia, for putting her in jail.
Nezu?
Yeah, it's Principal Nezu's fault. That fucking nepotism ass Chuck E. Cheese bitch.
What?
Exactly. I've been joking for a long time that those two commercials are my favorite anime of the year they came out. They're real short, real
That's
punchy,
fair.
real tightly edited. Love them a lot.
Valid.
Other than that, she was doing Kyosugiga, which we'll never get to talk about on this show because it doesn't have a dub.
Oh, that's true.
And she's done several Pretty Cure movies.
At any time, Discotech, you can fix that problem.
You're the ones that put out the Blu-ray. Come on, guys.
You can do it. I believe in you.
It's only 11 episodes.
I believe in you. You can do it. Anything's possible, Discotech. I believe in you. Anything's possible, Discotech. I fucking believe in you. Me crying on the fucking floor, falling off the couch.
Right. That's new news since the last time we recorded together.
Yes. It finally happened, guys. My dreams have come true. It's a great day for Steph. Crying in the club.
Yeah, so because of whatever happened with the finale, I think we didn't get Rie Matsumoto back for season 2, sadly, for Beyond. It's still a fine project, and something I still think is worth talking about, but they trade in someone with a lot of vision for a very workmanlike director. His name's Shigehito Takayanagi. He's been in the industry a long time. He hasn't helmed a lot of projects himself. His two biggest ones where he's the director are Dagashikashi and The World God Only Knows.
Oh, that explains a couple things. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that explains the uptick in fan service.
A little bit.
I'll be real, rewatching season 1 was yeah, this is probably one of my top 5 anime of all time. Finally watching season 2. This is good, but it's I went into a restaurant and they slightly changed the recipe to my favorite dish.
Yep.
And while I still really like it, it's not the same. And I kind of missed the parts that were there in season 1 that worked really well, but I'm also one of those people that think Blood Blockade season 1 is proof that you don't need to be a slave to, especially in this day and age, a slave to the manga
source material.
Yeah, and making it a complete one-to-one adaptation, because at that point you don't really want an anime, you just want a voice comic.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I've been lamenting for a couple years now the lack of original anime.
Right.
Yes.
Everything's an adaptation.
Which I get why, because there were a lot of really promising original anime that just absolutely shit the bed.
Right.
Right, you're taking on risk.
Yeah, but also at the same time, do we really need another season of My Life as a Slaver in Another World?
That is unfortunately oddly specific.
Yeah, I wonder
It
why.
needs to have the word villainous in the
That
title.
is unfortunately oddly specific.
No. Listen, I would take as many villainous adaptations as God would allow if it meant no more seasons of Shield Hero.
Oh!
Right.
Or Mushoku Tensei.
Oh, Megan is back to feeling saucy today.
Part of me feels saucy, but it's not my mouth.
Bitch, I miss you.
And I have to control this madness?
Good luck! Listen, you wanted to bring the OGs in on this.
I did.
This is your own
I asked
creation. So good luck.
I chose this life.
Hardy's just in the corner and eating some popcorn. It's fine. No, he has his B-dubs. I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
I did have wings last night.
I saw a TikTok yesterday of like a car. I think it had to be a Tesla. And it was a girl's car being surrounded by wild donkeys. And that's all I'm imagining what Jackson's feeling like right now is just, he just drove the car into the thing of wild burrows.
You know what it is?
Great.
It's that one Lion King shirt with Scar sitting in the middle and all the hyenas are all around him laughing. And it just says, I'm surrounded by idiots.
No king, la 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 la
La
la.
la.
Oh, speaking of Lion King, I don't know if Steph saw the absolutely cursed thing I dropped yesterday about
Probably
it.
not.
The Lion King, but Mufasa sounds like JFK and Scar sounds like Nixon.
Oh no. Why?
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Arrah. As you see, Simba, the things the light touches are what we have.
Scar, brother, help me.
Ah, brother, help me. Now I just sound like Mayor Quimby.
Nothing bad ever happens to the lions.
Nothing bad ever happens to Mufasa.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
I cannot do an acceptable Nixon impression, I'm sorry.
Without getting destroyed!
Long live the king!
Long live the king.
Yeah, you really need to get the jowls in there.
I can't do that. I don't have the jowls to do that.
Speaking of New York City, we should really get to the director of the show. We've been talking for 20 minutes. But I still laugh every time I've had to go to New York like a bunch the last couple of years for like either family or like trips. I'm still never getting over just the Kennedy Airport slogan of their renovations.
Yes.
Building a new Kennedy for you.
Yeah.
Every time it just fucking makes me laugh.
Yeah. Every time. JFK. No. Is it JFK? Yeah, it is JFK.
It's JFK.
JFK. Why do I think it's always LaGuardia, though?
No,
they both are.
LaGuardia's, like, rework has been done, and it is less of a shithole now. But anyway, Jackson, like an air traffic controller, please direct us to what we should be talking about.
Construction gets done in your city? That's incredible. Could never happen here.
No. Construction gets done, but then in the middle of that construction, another project starts, and then that one just supersedes everything once the first project is done, and then it's just never-ending cycle. So that's just how this works in New York.
Yeah, one of my favorite stories is like the church in Wellesley Village, which is the gay part of town. One year they were painting the crosswalks with the pride flag, and then 2 weeks later they came around to dig it up and tar where they needed to do some construction and wire work. Just terrible organization over here.
Oh my god.
Terribly organized like this episode. Let's get into
Anyway, segue!
Our ADR director and script writer for Blockade Battlefront. For ADR director, we have the famous Mike McFarland, and doing scripts for this series is one Blair Rowan. Mike McFarland, do the kids know who Mike McFarland is?
They better.
Do I have to keep explaining this? Do the kids know Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul? These are all like Shiki, One Piece, Chainsaw Man. I can keep going.
Like, if there's a very big prolific show that you know and love, there's like a very, very high probability that Mike McFarland directed the dub for it.
He's one of the... Come on, guys. And of course, Blair Rowan was a name I wasn't familiar with. They've done scripts for the Evangelion Rebuild movies, the Kakegurui second season over at Netflix, I believe. They did Noragami back then. They did Tower of Duraga and Guilty Crown. Some of the stuff they did more recently, so they are still working, is A Sign of Affection and Cells at Work.
Hold on, wasn't there an assistant director on this?
Yes.
Did I miss a assistant director?
Was Felicia?
Yeah, I think it was Felicia.
Wasn't this the origin of Mom-chan?
I did miss assistant ADR director Felicia Angel.
This is the origin of Mom-chan because of dirty Teletubby jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This is how Mom-chan came around.
I need to leave.
I need an adult. That's what it was. Felicia, I need an adult.
I need an adult right now.
Leonardo Watch constantly needed an adult in this show, and unfortunately all he had was Zap.
Yes!
Leonardo was made to watch.
Fucking hell.
Pardon me. Did I forget anyone on season 2? I better not have. No, we're clear on that. Blair did scripts for both seasons, as did Mike. So, what do we think of the directing and script writing on this show? Hardy, would you like to go first?
Oh, well, I mean, what can you say about Mike McFarlane's reputation? All of his dubs, even for shows that aren't that great, they all have this very specific sound to them. They all sound really great, and this is no exception. I think he went into this with his usual gusto, and everyone sounds great. Everything's perfectly cast. The writing's really good. I like a lot of the times where they snuck some neat little wordplay in there. I really tend to like Zap's fish puns when he's arguing with Zed. Those are always fun. So yeah, I think it's just a really solid dub, both seasons, all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I have to definitely agree. One of the things I liked is that they definitely leaned into a lot of the brashness of it. This was one of the simuldubs I actually remember getting to drop an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah.
The rare privilege.
Thanks, Starface.
It's pretty fucking rude. Yeah, it definitely feels very seamless, especially when you're going between both seasons, because unfortunately, the material is quite different in terms of tone and heart. Like I said, season 2 is good, but it's like missing that special sauce good for me.
Yeah. It's very much the difference between a 9 and a 10, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, where season 1's like pretty much a perfect 10 of a show, and season 2 is like a 9, maybe for me like an 8.5.
Fair.
Mostly because I am not particularly a huge fan of there suddenly being an uptick in fan service for no fucking reason in a show that didn't really have it in the first season. But then again, that's probably the difference between having a male and a female director. But I think for me, the thing that really stands out is how well the cast is put together for this. This is an all-star cast, especially by today's standards. Even kind of back in season 1 and season 2, I think it had a star-studded cast, but maybe some of those people weren't as big. I know Steph feels like this was kind of the renaissance for a certain actor coming back.
Yes, 100%.
I think for me, the thing that works the most is that it very much feels like what you'd expect out of New York City sounding like. Obviously not the accents, but if you've ever been to New York City, you know the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got down really pat. And this is one of the rare times where even if New York City isn't like the New York City you know and love, it still feels like that, and that's what's great about the sound. Also, the mixing on the show is impeccable. I love the weight that feels things. I love the emotionality. So, the biggest thing I appreciate about Mike McFarlane directing this dub is that he chose to do what the Japanese didn't do with its seiyus. There are 3 characters, if I'm right, all played by the same person.
All played by Rie Kogumiya.
Yes.
I know where you're about to go with this.
I believe they are all 3 played by Rie Kogumiya.
You're talking about black, blank, and white, correct?
Yes. And for me, I don't think that would work as effectively to make me emote to these characters if it hadn't been. Like, for the difference, instead of having one person play all 3 of them in English, we have 2 different people playing the 3 characters. So, I like that decision. And overall, I'm very glad that this is one of my favorite anime and I got to talk about it again.
Oh man. I don't want to add like too much more because there's not a lot much more to add. Like, it's very stellar, and I'm so happy that we're revisiting this show. It's definitely one of the shows that I was very sad initially that we had only covered like maybe 1 or 2 episodes when we first did the simuldub for it. We kind of stuck with the rule of like, once we cover it as an impressions thing, we're not doing it again. But like, that's the joy of this little special retrospective series that we're doing this year. Directing is solid, is fucking choice. Mike McFarlane knows what he's doing. You can never go wrong. Like Hardy said, even if it's a bad show, you're gonna get an A+ tier dub directed by Mike McFarlane. Like, I'm not even kidding. I do want to focus a little bit more on the writing, though, with Blair Rowan. Because part of the vibe, I feel like, with the setting being, like, a weird, supernatural New York City of sorts, doesn't just come from the directing, it also comes from the writing. In Blair's writing keeps the vibe very well. It also has so much fun humor, some banter. The back and forth between these characters is just fucking hilarious at times. People are calling each other shits and name calling, like, whole 9 yards. I think, like,
the amount of similes for scrotum in this show.
Yes, the amount of similes for certain things, the amount of name calling, the amount of, like, innuendos and shit. Zap refers to Chain as a she-bitch. Chain refers to Zap as a fucking monkey most of the time. Like, it's all this playful dialogue that gets written in, and I just love it. But not just that. It's all of the more complex, dramatic moments as well, and I think this is particularly so with Season 1, especially when you center it around the main story and the plot line between Black, White, and Blank, and that whole main plot line there, where Blair does get to shine. The fact that you brought up Noragami as one of his prior credits is a fabulous example, because Blair also manages to balance the dramatic and heartfelt moments with the comedy of Noragami. And Blockade Battlefront, I think, elevates that to another level. Especially with the comedy. Because the comedy of Blockade Battlefront can hit, like, even higher levels than Noragami sometimes can. Let's be real here. It can go, like, more balls-to-the-wall comedy than Noragami even can fucking dream of. So, I really wanted to make sure Blair got his kudos with this show, because there is a lot going on with this. Like, you have a dude, Lucky Abrams, who is the most unlucky person in the world, like, who's cursed by these goddamn vampires, and who doesn't give a flying fuck about anything. It's just so casual about it. You have Zap Renfro, who all he cares about most of the time is getting laid and being a complete shit asshole to people. Who does deep down actually care sometimes, but in his own weird twisted way. You have the Glory that is femmed chewing all the goddamn scenery in the vicinity. Like, you have this weird amalgamation of characters and personalities. Mike directs them wonderfully, 100%, but Blair is able to capture the essence as well with his writing, and I feel like that's something that I really wanted to touch on and highlight. Because, yeah, Mike McFarlane is a fantastic director. We can sing his praises all day long, but I really also think that the writing helps elevate the directing as well to another level because of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I say I wasn't familiar with Blair's game, this is like, oh boy. No, it's really excellent stuff. It is a lot of, like, big personalities coming together into this mixing pot of New York City. The directing style presents, like, an interesting challenge because all of it's very quick, and, like, the editing to it is all very dense and efficient editing style-wise, so you have to get all of that information in there real fast. There's a real great, like, rhythm to the dialogue that I don't quite know how to explain, but when they're intermingling in that way, a thing will happen over here and the response will come back over here. Leo will give a snide remark to Zap and get bopped on the head for his trouble. No, it's all really, really good stuff. I was describing it as comic booky and how we have these giant personalities all coming together. You know, thinking of, like, how Naito loves his comic books and set a series in New York City. The dialogue, like we said, it's vulgar as hell. It's crass as all get out.
It's so fun, though.
They're calling Leo a scrotum, a little pube head, upside down Johnny Landis. I appreciate that it's, like, very colorful, and it's not like a Panning Sucking's a bad example because it's also very colorful, but they're not going for, like, fuck, shit, come, piss.
Yeah, no, they don't go immediately into the deep end of the cursing pole. They get really creative with it, which I love.
Yeah, because I also don't think that this show is a show that needs that.
No, 100%.
Absolutely.
You don't need that in this show.
They saved their one F-bomb for the second season.
And for the point where it really fucking counts, which is great.
It does lead to maximum impact.
If I'm right, that entire episode might be, like, the single most sexually unhinged episode of the entire series. Because isn't that that's the episode where a witch curses Zap's dick to blow off if she doesn't find his cat?
Yes!
Yes, the witch played by Brittany Landa.
Yep, that is the same episode as Steven Starface's dinner party, yes.
Yeah, that's the one where another girl gets her boobs blown off.
Yes! That's the same one. And we got to have Steven drop an F-bomb, it's great.
You know, the vulgarity matches some of the violence that happens in the show, like, just out of frame.
It's great.
No, and Mike does a excellent job of bringing all these personalities together. I was thinking about, this feels like a big turning point in terms of dubs. In general, like simuldubs as a whole, but like this has a lot of old guard and a lot of new guard. Like some people here are playing their first lead roles, for example. We're cultivating talent for what's to come. It's been really great to see some of that flourish in the years since. Well, and we have Mike to thank for that.
Thank you, sir. Mike, you are a gem among gems, sir.
But we should mosey along to this group that's, I think some of us are very excited about. We have, of course, the King of Depravity, Femt. We have also from the 13 Kings, Eligula.
The Queen of Monomania.
The Queen of Monomania, and because I didn't have anywhere else to put them here, and I think they shared scenes with these two, I put Sonic the Sonic Speed Monkey in here as well. Now, as I'm getting to this, Steph, do you want to introduce who plays Femt? Because I think there's a story here.
Can you introduce Sonic and Eligula first, though, and then I'll introduce Femt for you?
All right. Thank you. Playing Sonic, we have Monica Rial, who has played other such animals as Pen Pen in the Evangelion Rebuild movies, the dog Chalk in Dr. Stone, Nero the bird in Black Clover, and Alpacachino in One Piece.
I like how you just went with just the
all animals.
That bodes well for this evening if you enjoyed that.
I love it!
Playing Eligula, we have Tia Ballard, known for such roles as Nene Yasushiro in 12-Bound Hanako-kun.
Yes!
Natsumi Becky in No Rin, another Mike McFarlane-directed TV show, and Mizuho in Sunny Boy. Now, Stephanie, who plays Femt? Do you know?
So, here's the thing. Back in the day, when we covered the show for impressions, I'm thinking now we only covered the one episode. And this individual stole the fucking episode, ran with it, and I think all of us were just floored with how much scenery they were chewing. Like, non-stop. And it was so much so that eventually it resulted in a specific W award. Not just scene stealing, chewing, hammy goodness, but the fact that we were like, how the fuck did this person manage to pull off this goddamn performance? Because this is the weirdest amalgamation of bullshit that we have ever fucking imagined. So, even though I believe, if I'm correct, Ian Sinclair was supposed to be the originator of this W award back in the day.
No, you're getting them confused.
I am getting them confused. Well, either way. So if y'all remember an award for the W Awards called the Voice Acting Black Magic Award. Remember, Voice Acting Black Magic was official because of this, but it originated because of Ian. But it was official because of this.
And Tatum.
A Voice Acting Black Magic Award is an award for the W Awards where we think that you have to sacrifice your firstborn child. You have to, demon circle and summon the Satan to pull off a performance.
I reject my humanity, JoJo.
Pretty much. You can thank the fabulous, fabulous individual known as Miss Jessie James Graley for this shenanigans. Jessie James Graley is the voice of Femt, the King of Depravity.
Also, they've played some other roles here that I've written down. In Given, they were Ritsuka, famously Attack on Titan, they play Armin Arlette. Devil's a part-timer, they play the Demon King Satan.
Oh, there's the demon.
Speaking of, how appropriate.
And because I'm hosting this episode and I can pull these out, they have some One Piece roles, including Izu, who was a geisha from Wano, and Wanzi, Mad Wanzi, who is a character who makes ramen by eating flour and pushing the ramen out through his nose hairs like a pasta machine.
Ew.
Oh, I was gonna say he's a Play-Doh extruder.
Exactly, because One Piece is a dumb series.
I fucking hate it, thanks.
You're very welcome.
I fucking hate it anyway.
Can I say something very cursed?
Floor is yours.
More cursed than that?
Here's a new sex tip from the Hellsalem's Lot Cosmo magazine.
What now?
Spice up your sex life by putting a Play-Doh shape extruder in their butthole.
I'm going home. I'm going
No
to bed.
comment.
You're already there.
I'm going to bed. Good night. Fucking hell.
This is why I've been banned from at least 7 bodegas in Hellsalem's Lot.
It's gonna turn into more in a minute here.
If I ever got banned from an actual New York bodega, my life is over. How dare me? I would rather never be able to go inside of, like, a Walmart again than ever be kicked out of a bodega.
Being banned from a bodega, the greatest sin.
I guess I'll keep talking.
Yeah, as we've killed this momentum with this tangent, you can go. As punishment for your crimes.
Yay! I would like to point out that both Fempt and Alegula could just be random general New Yorkers you'd ever meet. That goes for almost everybody in this cast. These are all people that you could in fact meet in New York City proper. I'll start with Monica. Monica makes adorable monkey noises. Everybody should want a supersonic speed monkey. I do think that he needs better choice in alcohol. Blue Moon, really? Listen, at least Libra knows to use the alcohol budget to get better than fucking Bud Light. But come on, there's a bunch of local Brooklyn, like, a bunch of, like, New York breweries you could have fucking done, show.
Blue Moon, yes, is a step up from Bud Light, but it's still Blue Moon, though.
She's adorable. I think there's a couple of episode previews where Sonic actually gets to talk.
Yeah, just suddenly learns the English language.
Yeah, it's adorable. Tia Ballard absolutely, like the truck she drives, steals the scenery. To which, if you ever bring your fucking souped up country boy truck into New York City, your truck deserves to get crushed by a New York City bus. Get that shit out of here. I love her. I absolutely love the entire episode dedicated to her showing up for the first time and her trying to fix Leo's love troubles.
Oh my
Meanwhile,
god.
she's dealing, like, the entire reason why Deldro and Brody are the way they are is that I love the fact that they described it as blending him up like a smoothie and putting him inside the other one's body.
Dramatization, do not attempt.
Yeah, please do not.
Don't turn your boyfriend into ketchup.
We at the Dub Talk podcast are not
Shit.
liable if you turn your boyfriend into ketchup.
Now, Salsa, on the other hand,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's chunky.
Yeah, I can be convinced.
God, stop it! Ew!
You know that, like, disclaimer that comes up at the beginning of every Dr. Stone where it's like, please don't attempt this? We're gonna have to put one at the beginning of this episode. Not because I think anybody would actively try to turn their partner into smoothie. I hope not, out of our listeners.
I hope not.
I do not want to find out that one of my listeners is a serial killer. That'd just be really fucking weird.
I don't want to be quoted in a news story for having been an inspiration for someone murdering their significant other. Please
if this show ever shows up on, like, Discovery ID or some shit, I quit. I'm gonna become a VTuber.
I mean, I'm partway there. I'm a part-time PNG tuber, so we're partway there.
Coincidentally, if you would like to use the Dub Talk Patreon to fund buying me and Steph actual, like, VTuber models, Jackson can even design our feet.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody with a foot fetish, Alegula probably had one for Deldro. I just love how absolutely bonkers this woman is. She is just like... She's like a yaoi fangirl that has gone on a rager. And now it is everybody's problem.
Yeah.
No, she's a Hime Joshi on a rampage. She is what I assume birthed Gigi Maureen from Hololive English Justice.
Oh god. This is making too much sense.
Jackson's like, this makes too much sense.
No.
I gotta abort this now.
Jackson's like, no, I don't like where this is going. Please stop. Please stop getting in my brain, Megan. Get out of there. You gotta pay rent.
They birthed a child together. The horse was watching the entire time.
What the? Wait, what? Hold on. Whoa.
As the house was
Whoa.
burning.
Yeah,
You made me watch Dancing Fruit. Fuck you, die.
but you like that. You made me dance next to a horse, but I liked that.
What the
Fuck you, die.
What the?
Oh, Steph,
Goodness.
I've got to explain to you, it's from the best isekai of all time. I was hit by a truck and reincarnated as the protagonist in a fantasy world, but then a horse ran over me and now my friends are cardboard? Season 1.
Yo, what?
We can watch it together later. It's very depraved.
Oh yeah, listen, if Aligula is Gigi Murren's baby mama, Fempt is her daddy.
I'm confused, but more really curious.
Just don't think about it. Just Steph, just smile and nod.
It's your only way out of this.
Tia Ballard's Aligula is just so much fun. And then she's also a little smarmy when they're kind of giving the King of Despair some shit at Coney Island. You know, the place where everybody gives people shit. I just love it, but let's give it up for the Queen. The single greatest downfall of Blockade Battlefront Season 2 is the lack of Fempt.
They show up for the first episode and the last episode because they know what the people want, and then they keep her from us for the rest of the thing.
No, you don't understand. Fempt is like one of the greatest side characters to ever be made in any anime ever, and Jesse James Gurley's performance is just this level of manic melodrama that you would see, like, it's like, what if the spirit of Nathan Lane and the producers possessed a demon?
Oh my god, you're right. Holy shit.
One of my favorite moments in the entire show is in the last episode where Fempt comes to Leo and just whacks him in the head with his cane. A la Rafiki in The Lion King.
Yep.
Like, Fempt knows that they are better than everybody else. It's Fempt's world and you're living in it. And he is just so frustrated that all of his plans keep going to shit because of Libra. There is nothing better than watching Jessie absolutely dropkick everybody else out of the way. This is her show. And her performance just has this level of depraved glee. Fempt is the king of depravity, and by God is Jessie gonna have that. You are going to shut up and pay attention to everything that Fempt does. And if you don't like the vocal performance, there is something physically wrong with you.
Hardy, what are your thoughts?
While I was rewatching this, I thought, I would kind of want to hear Jesse James do a version of the Joker. But now that I think of it, I want Jesse James to voice Kefka.
Oh my god, that would kick so much ass.
Who Kefka?
Okay, Final Fantasy VI. Take the Joker and then make him a super powerful sorcerer.
Oh.
Yes.
You know what? I'm down. I would be curious. I know nothing about Final Fantasy VI, but I'd be curious.
Here's the thing that's gonna give you mind damage. If you
Okay.
take off Kefka's makeup, he's actually very handsome, and he looks like David Bowie.
You know, that doesn't give me mind damage because now my brain's just like, he would be handsome without the makeup, wouldn't he?
Mhm.
That's where my brain went instead.
He's halfway to the Starman look, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, no, I love Jesse James as Fempt. I wish Fempt was in the show more often. I wish we got the OVAs because apparently Fempt and Leo were forced to work together.
Oh shit, I love that. I would love to see that. Damn.
Now, we never got the OVA license over here, so boo.
Heartbreaking, the worst person you know has a point.
And Tia Ballard as Aligura, she's only in like 1.5 episodes, but she's a lot of fun. And Monica's a monkey, and 2 other roles that you didn't mention, Jackson, are from Peacemaker way back in the day, where she plays both a pig and a mute.
She does play a lot of animals. I had to be picky.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, everyone was really great here. Yeah, absolutely, Jesse stole the show, and if we ever do get a season 3 or like a new OVA sometime down the road, just put in more Fempt. That's all we ask for.
That's what the people need.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, did you have thoughts on Aligula and Sonic?
I don't get to talk about Fempt. How dare you?
Well, did you have more to say about Fempt after introducing him?
So, I'm going to start with Aligula and Sonic, though. Sonic is pretty straightforward. Monica's a cute, adorable little monkey friend. I love Sonic. Watching Monica just emote as a monkey is so cute and adorable. But I think some of my favorite moments for Sonic are the silent communication that Sonic has with Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Where the one scene I'm thinking of in my head is the one where Leo is recently evicted from his apartment. He's sleeping on the couch at Libra. Zap comes in like a douchebag and just sits on Leo's face. Not ignoring him. And Sonic is just sitting on the coffee table in front of him. And he's just like staring at Zap. And Zap's just staring back. Sonic stares at him. And Zap just stares. And then all of a sudden, Sonic just like, stares down at Leo. And Zap's like, shit! Gets up and he's like, oh no, why didn't you tell me he was there? Sometimes the silent communication, those little subtle moments that Monica gets to have is just such a fun delight for her to play. It's also fucking bad shit. I have to agree that her trying to give romantic advice to Leo is some of the funniest shit I could ever ask for. For a girl who is horrible at romance, having combined the personality of a crass fucking alien Deldro and the looks of a stupid-ass model dog hummer together, her trying to give romantic advice is the funniest shit I could ever imagine. And her beating up Leo for not answering her or giving wrong answers is hilarious. He is a fun little delight. Y'all are talking about a new season or an OVA where Fempt takes more of the show. I want a spin-off where Fempt is the star of the show and just see like the shenanigans that Fempt gets into half the time. You know, you could bring in Aligula and then maybe the other 12 kings if you wanted to. Like, and some of the shit that they try and pull, because then you get to have Jessie going full ham on a frequent basis and trying to, like, destroy Hellsalem's lot and bring so much depravity and chaos to the world. And it would just be so glorious. Jessie, like, steals the show so fucking much. It is a delight. It is a treat to see her do that from start to finish. And I am also very, very sad that we only get her in, like, maybe a couple of episodes in the second season. Granted, season 2, you do get to focus more on the members of Libra individually, which I do appreciate that, honestly. But I could have used more Fempt. But no, Jessie, like, steals. There's not much more to add aside from what you had already said. I just want a spin-off. Like a little extra spin-off show where it's just Fempt.
Make it a chibi spin-off.
Yes, I want a spin-off of Fempt. That's all I fucking want, just so I could see Jessie go full ham. Jessie was really coming into her own around this point as well, because you had Attack on Titan. You had, Yona of the Dawn was a thing at this point.
That it was.
Jessie, to be fair, Jessie's character shows up for like 2 seconds.
Point still stands. But no, Jessie steals the show as Fempt, and I want a spin-off immediately. Japan.
Come on, I tell you.
Give me the manga spin-off, and I can at least hear Jessie's voice in my head as Fempt. I'll take that at the minimum. Thank you.
Boy, oh boy. Now, Monica as Sonic is extremely cute. You're right that a lot of the gigs with Sonic are very visual, and they are like a secret MVP for some events, for some scenarios where being faster than light and very tiny are quite necessary.
Sonic is a more reliable character than Zap when it turns to getting things done.
Yes.
You absolutely need a cute little mascot character for a series like this, and it's really unique with the big bug eyes. It is up there with the Black Cat in the original Trigun.
Who shows up a lot.
Who does get to show up a lot? Millie and Meryl get to show up too as dolls. A little bit of Trigun cameos in there. Now, Monica seems to be like the go-to person for monkey noises. Real solid work. Tia Ballard as Aligula. What a delight of a character. An unstoppable truck of a performance. My love for you is like a truck berserker.
Which one of you is Goku?
Would you like to make a fuck berserker?
Jesus Christ.
Fem's just a boy who can't say no.
Right.
Can't seem to say it at all. No, I love when Tia gets a role like this where she's just freaking out the entire time. She's really in her element. She gets to play it off like she's the innocent one. Leo, you're giving me nothing here to work with here. You're being very inconsiderate right now and not considering my feelings. Please man up and carry the conversation, goddamn. We're talking about love here. Can you man up for a second? Come on. Please get me out of here, Klaus. Please, someone save me from this lady.
I like to go home now, please.
I'm gonna die.
That's Leo's entire existence.
Yeah, I want to go home now, please.
That and Leo's entire existence can be summed up by, like, one moment in The Lion King. She's gonna eat me!
Luau. Not much more to say on Tia Ballard. She is great. She's in her element. She is perfect for the role. Exactly who I would want here to be Maniacal. But Jesse James Greeley as Fempt, King of Depravity. I can't say it much more profoundly than we've already said. I just really enjoy this performance. It is so much fun. It is a scene-stealing show. She's got a lot of stage presence whenever Fempt is on screen. Everything is about Fempt, and he's under control totally. There are just some lines that have lived in my head since watching episode 1. Come on, He-Man, give in to a little bit of that original sin, said with an evil, seductive smile. Towards the end of the episode, there's the other one, which I keep mishearing as, I was going to laugh so hard when you spanked the monkey.
Oh, Jesus!
I know it's kill the monkey, but I keep hearing spank the monkey.
Oh my god.
That is the hentai version of Blockade Battlefront.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Granted, I can't even say that, granted how much you see Zap have sex.
They show you his boner. His boner is fully in frame.
Yeah, it's also in infrared at one point, so...
Yes.
It really is just so much fun of a performance. The freakouts, the laughter, that's so normal! He hates Leo because he's just a normal fucking human. Mm-hmm. So much fun. One of those roles has lived in infamy since the show came out. And for all intents and purposes, may outlive the show in infamy. But we would like to get talking about some of the rest of Libra. That's mostly who we're going to be covering today. I don't have much to say about any of the villains or some of the episodic characters, unless we would take a chance right now to do any of that.
I'm good.
There's a lot of, like, really fun, like, one-off people. I find it really funny that in Season 2, there's a lot of, one-offs for people who would go on to have huge careers, like...
Jeannie Torado.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I think we're talking about her, so...
No, we're not going to cover Jeannie's character here. Like, I like her a lot. She's only got a couple of lines, really.
Yeah, like Jeannie Torado as the doctor. I think we mentioned, like, Brittany Lauda as the witch that blows off Zap's dick in Season 2.
Austin Tyndall has a fun two-parter that he gets to do, too.
Jill Harris shows up, I think, as...
Oh, the arms dealer?
The arms dealer who steals Zed's headphones.
Yep.
The fucking, 7-dimensional chess dude.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy. Kenny Green is playing that guy in episode 3.
Oh, yeah, Kenny Green!
Love that dude.
I think also Zap and Zed's master.
Yes.
Yep, Bruce Elliott, Raju, Jugai, something. It's a big, long compliment.
Drops, like, one of the best lines that's used in the trailer is, frankly, you're not worth the paper to wipe your own asses with.
He's so rude.
I love it.
Yeah, he's, like, the fucking worst.
I love it, though.
He gets a hold of Zap because he needs him to communicate in English, and has Zap say a long string of insults calling himself a maggot and full of, like, cholesterol and bile, and I would crush him with, like, a cockroach he is, except that I'm worried that the bile will be released into the air. What?
Yeah.
What a bastard.
I don't know who plays them all, but Chain's Werewolf Gang is pretty funny. They're probably, like, my favorite part of Season 2.
There's lots of great one-offs in this. Like, I love the landlord demon in episode 3 that's just Jeremy Inman. It's like, I know you signed the contract, so you don't have a problem with all this fine print. Get out.
Yeah.
Yep. There's quite a few, yeah, but, like, going through them all would also take forever.
We do at least need to mention Lindsay Seidel as Vivian.
Yes.
Yes. And her poor fucking diner.
The poor diner. Why not again?
Just one of the rare humans that's living in the city that Leo talks to a whole bunch.
Oh yeah, I forgot about John Bergmeyer as the guy who gets his brain kidnapped.
Oh, the butler.
The butler
guy.
episode.
Yep.
That's like one of my favorites to say is Season 2 episodes. And then Jerry Jules, the little microscopic dude.
Yes.
There's so many, like, really just fun one-off characters
It's
anyway.
so fun. Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff. We want to get out of here fast. I wrote down another, like, twice the cast length of just extra characters that are really fun. But we really only have time to talk about the members of Libra from here on out.
That's fine.
The 6 we're looking at for right now are Stephen A. Starface, the second in command, the Esmeralda Blood Freeze user with the ice powers. We've got KK Bratatat Mom with her gunslinging and electricity powers. We have Aligula's would-be boyfriend that beat Tom Hardy to the punch by a couple of years of...
Thank you for saying it! Thank you for saying it!
Deldro and Hummer as the Venom/symbiote Carnage character.
God.
2 in 1.
I love it.
Of course, we've got the butler in here as well. That's Gilbert F. Alstein, who's a family butler to Klaus's family. Very Alfred Pennyworth kind of character.
His weapon is car.
His weapon is Car. And then we have
Yes.
Blitz T. Lucky Abrams,
Oh boy.
the vampire specialist. Please keep a distance of 10 meters. For our own safety, not yours.
Not for his safety, but for our safety.
Going through these characters, we have J. Michael Tatum playing Stephen A. Starface, Stephanie Young as KK, Mike McFarland as Deldro, Orion Pitts as Doghummer, Francis Henry as Gilbert, and Mark Stoddard as Abrams. Tatum, you know, for such characters as Magma in Dr. Stone, Katsuya Honda in Fruits Basket the movie, and one of my favorites, I know this character because he says the word plebeian in the way that only Tatum can. It was a character named Shichikoza in Ascendance of the Bookworm Season 2. Minor characters, like one of the first things he did over in the California. It just sticks in my mind because he says plebeian.
Great.
Stephanie Young, of course, played Sylvia Sherwood in Spy Family. That's the director of the spy agency.
The handler.
Handler. Zombieland Saga as Yuguri, the oldest of the Isles, and Nico Robin in One Piece. Mike McFarland as far as voice acting. Do the people know Master Roshi? Do the people know Dragon Ball?
I think the people are aware, yeah.
That had an anime recently, so...
Yeah, that series from the 90s, little known thing.
Never went anywhere.
This is where I've got a Tokyo Ghoul role. He plays Kotaro Amon.
Yeah!
One of the police guys. He plays Tybalt in Romeo x Juliet.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And of course, he had a lead role not too long ago as Hiroshi Otokawa in Odd Taxi.
Hell yeah!
He is the walrus, Goo Goo Gajoob.
He is indeed the walrus. Cuckoo Cuckoo.
Orion Pitts, we of course talked about not too long ago for Grimgar Ashes and Illusions, where he plays Ranta. He is in Golden Kamuy as Ogata, that little freak.
Jackson, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Exactly. I was saying that aloud, and it's like, I'm just going to say this is the little freak. I don't know for sure which one it is.
I need to catch up on Golden Conway. He's the sniper freak, bro.
Yes, he is the cat.
He's Sniper Boy.
You point the knife at his face, and he just turns up and looks at you smugly. And of course, favorite of everyone in this call, he is in Windbreaker as Kotaro Sugishita.
Oh, yeah.
That dumbass.
Francis Henry is less prolific. He's got a couple old man roles going around. He is the principal in Nichijou. He is Pastor Nick in Attack on Titan, which feels like a Simpsons character. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Hi, Dr. Nick when I think Pastor Nick. But he's in a bunch of that series, and he's, as far as I know, he's just an asshole. What I would know him for best is he's one of the Vice Admirals Momonga, who's one of those Marines that shows up often enough to be important and job to someone more important. He's got a big, long mustache and a mohawk. And lastly, Mark Stoddard as Blitz T. Agrams. You would know him for a couple things like Sakura Quest. He was Kodata Uchimatsu. He was in My Hero as the doctor with... Is he the Gold-Toothed Doctor? Or am I thinking of FMA? He's the doctor that shows up in My Hero to tell Deku he is never getting powers. And then, of course, he's also the doctor in One Piece. He's hero look. Much more
wholesome,
technically more bedside manner from the Quack Doctor. Who would like to go first with this batch of Libra operatives?
Tatum got to say fuck!
I think that means Steph goes first.
You're up.
I had to do it. I had to fucking say it. I guess I will go first. Jesus Christ, this group is very diverse and so much fun. And, this group in general, the majority of these are most of the secondary characters, and a lot of these you can consider as the old guard at this point. I think with the exception of Francis Henry and maybe Orion Pitts, because those are two names you don't hear super, super frequently, even 10 years ago, right? But, Jesus Christ, I don't even know where to start. Because all of them are just such fun, diverse voices, and the banter and the back and forth is just a delight to hear. Mark Stoddard Abrams is just nonchalant as shit. He's a gruff man who's just like, hey kid, I need your help with this vampires problem I got. I need to know all that you know, okay? Just like so enthusiastic about it. It's great. Francis Henry, poor fucking Gilbert. Francis Henry is this like noble, regal like presence. He's very respectable, very dignified. And he takes his job very super seriously. But if you piss him off, it isn't going to end well for you. Because he will kick your ass and still retain that noble, like, dignified presence. It's one of those situations where it's like, you guys might know this. You know how when I get angry, y'all know it because I almost never get angry about something?
You are the opposite of me who gets mad at everything.
and when I get angry, I just kind of stew in it. And I'm just kind of like, no, everything's fine. But you could just tell that something got fucked up and I'm upset. It just seems like a nonchalant vibe. Similar idea with what Gilbert is and what Francis Henry does here. Except Francis Henry just keeps the dignified attitude for Gilbert. He's still gonna kick some ass and take some names at the same time, and it's so much fun. I gotta talk about Orion and Mike as a duo. Because obviously you can't separate the two. For all intents and purposes, they are quite literally stuck together, right? These two dumbasses, they work off of each other so well because you have Orion, who's this bubbly, fun, outgoing personality who's a fucking dumbass half the time. And then you have Mike, who's kind of more gruff, a little bit rough and tumble a little bit. It is a bit more of the crass one of the two of them. Is a bit more of the brains of the operation, and we'll just go to Dog Hummer and just be like, that wasn't exactly a smart thing that you just did. And Dog Hummer's just like, oh, yeah, you're probably right. Like, he's just nonchalant about it. Orion's just like, yeah, oh, well, my bad. And it's a fun little pair between the two. But the two of them also have their fun little moments, too. Their introduction episode comes to mind here as Aligula chases them all around Hellsalem's lot, and she's trying to find them to effectively bring them home. Because she's hunting them down. She wants to get the love of her life back. And the two of them are, like, having an internal conversation with each other. And Orion, as Dog Hummer, is just like, if you want to go with her, like, you tell me, and I'll agree to do it. And Dildra's like, I don't know. I don't think Dildra ever actually gave a straight answer.
I mean, in his mind, yeah, she's hot. But she also made me into ketchup.
She also made me the ketchup and put you in your stupid ass. It's a fun dynamic between Orion and Mike, and I kind of enjoy it a lot. Speaking of dynamics, I do like the back and forth that Stephanie and Tatum have. Because Tatum, first of all, is the straight man of Libra. Tatum's Steven Starface is the straight man of Libra. He's the brains of the operation. Again, like Jackson said, he's like the second in command. Because let's be real, Klaus, while he is a fabulous leader, not quite there in the brains department a portion of the time. Let's be real. Steven is the brains of the operation. And Tatum plays that wonderfully. And then you have Stephanie's KK, and those two butt heads pretty frequently, and it's such a fun delight to see Stephanie and Tatum just go at it every so often, mostly on Stephanie's side. I don't think we ever really find out what the deal with the dynamic between these two is.
Well, no, it's because it's hidden in season 2 of Stephanie knows that Steven is a piece of shit and has been hiding like this Black Ops crew this whole time, which we never get in season 1. And everyone's like, why does she have a problem with Steven? See, he's such a chill guy.
And then we get the dinner party. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, no, he's a dark monster.
Yeah, no, you're right. But no, it's a fun back and forth dynamic. I like Stephanie's KK quite a bit. It's a different tone than what you normally associate Stephanie Young for, too, which is, it's always refreshing when a voice actor kind of gets to play a little bit against type. Because this is not a Nico Robin, this is not... The fuck else has Stephanie done offhand that's Because I'm only thinking Nico Robin right off the bat.
Olivier from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Hot, big women.
Because she kind of takes her natural tone of voice and, takes it up a touch. The tone, a tiny bit higher. So, I think that's actually more of her natural sounding voice, because Andrew and I have met Stephanie before. And her KK voice is actually, I think, leans more towards her natural sounding voice than what she does for Nico or Olivier, actually, ironically enough. But I enjoy it a lot, and I think it's so cute and adorable how much of a doting mom she is. It is the sweetest shit. Because the episode in season 2 we have where she wants to attend Parents' Day so bad because she has missed Parents' Day every year for the past few years.
See also why Steven Starphage is an asshole.
Yeah! And she's trying her damnedest to go attend Parents' Day. It is the cutest shit. And then she just ends up working anyway. Remotely, 1, and then 2, she runs into one of the blood breed anyway, while attending Parents' Day. She's like, God damn it. But no, Stephanie is a delight. And then, kind of going back to Tatum. Tatum is definitely the straight man of the group, you would think. He's the straight man, he's the brains of the operation. At least that's the vibe you get in season 1, but yeah, you are correct. There is a lot more to Steven Starface. And you get a glimpse of that in season 2 with the episode that is specifically catered to Steven, with the dinner party that he throws. I don't know if it's exact, but I think I wrote down the line. Because he's hosting a small little get-together with friends, everybody's coming over. It's the first time he's actually done something like this in a very long time. But after the guests come in and everything like that, he sends the housekeeper home and everything's going well. But then it turns out the guests are not as what they seem, and they're actually out to kill him. But Steven's not an idiot, because he's very observant. Way too observant for his own good. The line is, if you had met Larry before tonight, that would have been really fucking rude. The one F-bomb of the whole show, and it was in the correct spot. In the moment where it mattered. In that instant, there goes all of the bad guys, and I love it. It's so great. It's a delight. But no, Tatum playing the mature straight man is always a fun time. But also seeing those glimpses of the potential, darkness lurking underneath, it's always just yes, give me some more of the complex, juicy goodness. Yes, please. Again, all of these characters are so diverse, and they're so freaking fantastic, and I love them all. I really do. They're great.
Thank you. Hardy, what's on your mind?
Well, I would just like to say there's a reason why they used Mark Stoddard as Abrams very heavily in the trailer for this show.
Oh, yeah.
Summons basically everything up. It says, look as long as you can. When you can't look a second longer, just look one more second and then close your eyes. And when you feel like, your herring's about to explode, you're about to dive into the mouth of madness and you can't take any more, just look one more second and then.
Enough already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the rhythm. It's just a perfectly paced out joke.
Which that trailer, if you haven't seen it, is just one of Funimation's finest. They came up with the perfect tagline for this show that I still don't think they've ever made anything better. It's let the end times roll.
That is good.
It's so good.
Mm.
I would honestly say both season trailers for the show are great, especially the second one using Mystery Skulls freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
They got Mystery Skulls for this thing. I miss when Funimation would cut an awesome trailer like this. There's a new release for Summer Wars coming out, 4K. They've cut a new trailer for it. It's not as good as, it's just a game, isn't it? That they cut for Summer Wars way back when.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like Mark a lot as Blitz, as Abrams. I mean, it's a shame he didn't show up at all in season 2. Here's the thing about Abrams is he actually is lucky. It's the people around him that bad things happen to.
The nickname is ironic.
Yeah, what was it? He is naturally lucky. He deals with vampires and blood breeds a whole bunch. He pisses one of them off and they curse him, so bad things happen around him. But his natural luck counteracts that, so he narrowly avoids all these bad things that happen to him. as meteors get dropped from the sky at random.
We could tell that you showed up. A bus exploded 20 minutes ago.
He finds all of this hilarious.
But yeah, no, Mark is great. Francis Henry, he only really gets one episode to himself as Gilbert. He's just sort of peppered in through the first season or so. But he's basically like a mutant Alfred Pennyworth. But yeah, his episode is really fun. With Deldro and Dog, Mike McFarlane and Orion Pitts, just like Stephanie said, they get along together, which is, they're completely different people. Because Dog is like a professional model, really handsome guy, and Deldro is an alien serial killer. And yet they have nothing in common, and yet they're like just chill bros. So I like that they are able to play off one another. Stephanie Young as KK, especially in her own episode, she's great. She's just trying to do her thing as a mom and save the world. And I especially like the few lines that her husband had with her. Because he is dad of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe that was Stephen Fu playing the husband.
He was just fantastic. Yeah, he's just like, I know what you're doing. You're doing your best. I'm so proud of you. You are literally out there saving the world. Your son will eventually come to appreciate that, I'm sure. And then Tatum is Starface, and his F-bomb is just chef's kiss. That's it. I'm done.
Thank you. Megan?
So I'm going to start with Abrams. Like Hardy said, they picked his big dramatic monologue for a reason in the beginning of the trailer. He is absolutely hilarious. One of the things I love about his introduction episode, it's like this first big party that Libra's had since like Leo joined. And everything's going really well. And then Leo mentions seeing the red aura on the train. And everybody is so pissed about it. God damn it, come on!
Oh no, he's coming?
It's like, oh man!
Heartbreaking, the worst person you know has to come for a vacation. And they're just like so fucking done with everything. I think that the big thing that gets me with him is it is quite literally Mark Stoddard playing it completely straight the entire time.
Yes.
There's no cheekiness to his performance. He is playing Abrams as earnestly as humanly possible for the character. He is there to help Leo. He is there to be a good dude. Because, let's be real, the Bloodbreeds are fucking terrifying. They might be some of the most terrifying vampires in actual anime. Because you literally just can't kill them. The best you can hope to do is seal them away.
Mm-hmm.
There's no winning against them. You will die, and you will like it. But I think Mark really kind of steals a lot of the time that he's on screen, which is just genuinely very funny. I think one of my favorite other things about him, he just doesn't really get... I just love the, well, everything's fine for me, why is it not fine for you? And everyone's just like, please go the fuck away. I loved KK's episode. I really liked the sentiment of not only her dealing with trying to balance being a mom and being a member of Libra, just being very exasperated when she's doing the stuff with the remote drone because she's basically playing on her Xbox in the toilet. And her son, who I think was played by Afia Yu.
Sounded like her.
I'm not 100%. I think both the kids were Micah and Afia, which is really kind of funny if you think about it. Loved her episode. I loved the whole, like, her and the Bloodbreed in that episode basically coming to a truce because their kids came. We do what we love for our kids to keep them safe and happy, and I really think Stephanie's performance carried that, like, motherly vibe very well, and I love how much of an absolute annoying dork mom she is. When she thinks her son has a little girlfriend, she's like, look at him go! That's my little man! We're gonna interview him tonight about it! What a stud!
Yes!
We're gonna tell all the neighbors.
That is a very, like, New York mom, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Deldro and Brody, can I talk about one of my actual favorite moments that happens in this show?
Let's hear it.
So, they're in the car coming back from the art museum,
Mm-hmm.
and, Deldro asks Klaus for weed.
I can't believe he did that. I can't believe it slipped my nose entirely the first time through because I used some euphemism for it.
Yeah, he's like, can I have some green?
It didn't sound like he was asking for money.
Yeah, no, he was asking him to roll him up a fat joint.
Yeah, Klaus, can you slip me a joint into prison? Come on, into myself. Where am I going?
Yeah, because first of all, can we talk about the fact that I think it was Deldro who wanted to go to the art museum in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Dog, it was Deldro the monster who wanted to go because he liked the art exhibit. The driver's like, why the fuck do I have to come here? This is such bullshit. Yeah, no, he just wants to appreciate the art. I think we can just give him this for the day. Like, it's not gonna kill anybody. And then it ended up helping because I think something was attacked. Oh no, that was the episode with the bug. The little micro people in Tyndall's character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love that that Dog is just so chill. Whatever one Orion Pitts is, I cannot tell them apart. I'm so sorry.
Orion Pitts is the Ikemen.
Okay, he's the hot guy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I am very dumb sometimes.
Mike McFarland is the clown.
But I genuinely like them a lot. They're so much fun. And then there's fucking Steven. Steven, who I love, him and KK bicker like exes.
Yeah.
They were exes at one point. Otherwise, that man is being in a gay relationship with Klaus. Oh, I forgot Francis Henry. Let me quickly go over him. The episode with Francis Henry's assistant being kidnapped is also one of the best episodes of the show. Because they're just like, hey, buddy. The whole thing about it, too, is like, he knows everything about Libra. Mm-hmm. Everything. If something was to ever fall into the wrong hands, like, it'd be fucked. And that's a big reason why they have to go get the brain back. But I just like that you find out that he's able to regenerate his body, but only if it's a fatal injury.
Yeah.
I love at the end of the episode where he's finally warmed up to John Bergmeyer's character. He's like, well, I guess you want to stay now. No!
But you work so hard to join us.
And now he's like, I don't want to be here. Fuck this shit, I'm going home. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about him. And then Steven, it's like hard to not love J. Michael Tatum as Steven Starface. He is like one of the quintessential Tatum characters. But he's like if Sebastian from Black Butler was sleazier.
Mm.
I love that he gets the big fuck thing. One of the other episodes I really love, but I also hate him for doing this to KK on the Children's Day, is like, but KK, think of the kids whose parents might die if you're not here. I'm gonna strangle you, Starface.
Oh, yeah!
You're being a dick right now.
Yeah, bitch move, Steven. Bitch
move, Starface. And, like, it's very clear he cares about Klaus, but nobody cares about Klaus more than KK, who had to watch him go through, like, 70 hours super hell chess.
Oh my god.
Anyway, love the performances. This is really hard to talk about because you want to, like, there's nothing bad to say about any of them. Anyway, go ahead.
No, all good. It's all good stuff. I'll start with KK, I think, because like that's the one episode where they have a commentary on the Blu-ray for, and it's Stephanie Young talking about how she put her being a mom into the role.
Aww.
It is one of the reasons why I'm glad we have a season 2 to get more stories with characters like KK. I do just remember season 1, that episode 3 is what I remember her for the most. Klaus has been in there for 99 hours. We're going to hit these guys with everything we got. And if any one of them fails, I'm going to kill every last one of them.
Yep.
It's real dramatic and really memorable as she's holding back tears. Because Klaus is just so cool. And he went through that for everyone. So that's what I think of when I think of KK. Otherwise, her focus episode is a lot of fun. She's putting her all into that, being such a mother, crying over her children, gossiping a whole bunch of like, oh my god, my little man, growing up so fast. Is one of the better animated sequences in that living room, where she's just getting berated by his words. Liar, you broke my promises. The older child comes in and is like, hey, I'm used to it, but you can't let down the little one.
Jesus Christ show.
That's cruel. Yeah, a lot of lovable freakouts in that episode. A lot of big frustrations over her video games. Let me get back to... I was doing something. Get out of my face. Steven, shut up and go away. And she's the one person that calls Steven on his shit because she knows what he's really like. I'm inferring, I suppose. They are otherwise just like a bickering old couple. J. Michael Tatum as Steven, he gets to be so chill in season 1. He comes in a lot to just solve a logistical problem or bounce ideas off with Klaus or otherwise get shit done. And then in the second season, he's getting a lot more frazzled a lot more often. We've talked to death about this dinner party and the really fucking rude.
Yep.
How he's just methodically dealt with this issue entirely. The problem is already solved by the time they walk in the door. They've already fallen into his trap. Now, the funny one is, I think it's like episode 6 or so, where they're dealing with a hacking problem and they get locked out of their office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just at the end of his rope after being up like 48 hours trying to code this program. And KK ticks him off one last time and he's just like, you are one more thunderfart in the shitstorm I don't need. Again, a great trailer line. So I'm glad that was in there for the season 2 trailer.
Yep.
This is exactly what we mean by the crass and vulgar dialogue. That's a lot of fun.
I love it.
Otherwise, just Steven Tatum doing his very proper shtick until he gets more frazzled. Deldro and Humber, what a great pair. You know, like I said, they're beating Venom and Tom Hardy to the punch by just a couple of years because Yasuhiro Nao's such a fucking comic book nerd, especially for that character. He throws that design in wherever he can. They bounce off each other real well and are united in that. I was looking up the title cards because one of them is translated as like cute boy for Hummer on the screen. Because I'm thinking it's like Ikemen. And then I look it up and it's effectively the word for twink. It's like a BL term.
Oh, that makes that even better. That's funny as shit.
That's amazing.
It's not semi or uke, but it's a term that means like effeminate effectively. It's really fine.
That's
Twink
great.
affectionate.
They're both idiots. They don't have two bodies, not one brain cell between them. They both get along and emphasize each other's bullshit real well.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Francis Henry as the butler, as Pennyworth, is kind of in the background for much of season 1 before he gets some spotlight in season 2. I like the part where after he gets injured and needs help, he just crumples like a rag doll. Like one of those wooden dolls that's all blocks connected on a string. If you pulled it tight, he would just pop right back up.
Mm-hmm.
Really hilarious gag like that. And he's totally in control when it gets to be his turn. He's communicating via Morse code by tapping. He understands exactly what's happened immediately. All right, we're not going to blow your cover, but I'm going to communicate to you secretly. I'm going to get out there with my car, and we're going to solve this problem together. And we're going to blow everyone to shit.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that guy looks just like a deer. DUI.
No, and Mark Sards, he's having a lot of fun with the role. It's played straight for the majority of it, or he's feeling like a very serious character, and then he's just going wahaha at some of the wild happenings around him. He's just, this city's a mess. How did you guys let it get this bad?
Yeah.
How does anyone live here when there's meteors falling from the sky? No, that's you!
That's all you,
You're the problem!
What? Moi?
He's like the oldest guy there, so he's got seniority over Klaus, so he's just like, Klaus, my boy, my little protege. How are you holding up here? Really fun, really charismatic in that regard. Now, I think that covers our first section of Libra, so we should get along to the ones that are there like every single time.
Yeah.
Getting the lion's share of the episodes. We are talking about the rest of Libra. We have Chain Sumuragi. We have Zed O'Brien and the other holder of the Big Dipper style Zap Renfo, Mr. Dick Suck. Why would they put that there? Why would they call Chain a shoddy?
I wonder.
And of course, my man crush. I mean, my best boy, Klaus von Reinhardt's Tux Collar.
In this house, everybody's gay for Klaus.
There's some lore there where once upon a time I did make YouTube videos to cover anime, and I remember doing a like 12 days of anime thing around Christmas, and I made a video about Klaus specifically.
Oh.
In which I described him as my man crush and complimented his cute little fangs.
Eat shit, Nagatoro! This is the real king of the fangies.
Of course, so playing Chain, the invisible werewolf, we have Trina Nishimura. Playing Zed O'Brien, the Fishman, the Guillermo del Toro character. Alex Organ played him in Season 1, and by Season 2, he is played by Christopher Waycamp.
I was gonna say, if you've never seen this show, Zed is literally Abe Sapien.
Literally, yeah, right at Hellboy. After this, he went on to star in Shape of Water. We got to see his dick on screen.
He moving on up in the world.
Fuck him and eat him.
Speaking of dicks on screen, we've got Ian Sinclair playing Zap Renfo. And, of course, Phil Parsons as Klaus von Reinhardt. Trina, you would know from My Hero Academia as Kyokajiru, School Rumble as Akira Takano, Loveline Sunshine as one of my favorites from that show, which was Saint Snow. She was Seira Kazuno. And she was just in Apothecary Diaries as Liwa. Alex Organ and Christopher Waycamp both played Shoto Aizawa in My Hero Academia in a similar regard. Alex has also played, more recently, Lloyd Forger in Spy Family. In Psycho Pass, he was Shogo Mikishima. And because it's me in my episode, he was Kaku in One Piece. I fucking love giraffes.
What?
I understand.
I love giraffes. For the last time, giraffes are awesome. He's playing Kaku again, because Kaku's back in the story. Christopher Waycamp, you'd also know as Mac in Megalobox Season 2. He was in Kaiju number 8 as Isao Shinomiya. And in Laughing Under the Clouds back in the day, he was Tenko Kuma.
My boy.
Phil Parsons as Klaus von Reinhardt. He's also been in Trinity Blood as Father Leon Garcia. He's been in Fire Force as Leonard Burns, one of the old guard in that. And, of course, in Dragon Ball, he is Nappa.
Vegeta!
There it is.
I'm hunting vampires!
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Vegeta.
Hey, Vegeta! It's about the Mets, baby!
Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
Vegeta! I'm winning at chess because I'm eating all the pieces!
Oh, my God.
And of course, there's so many Ian Sinclair roles to pick from, so I picked some of my favorites. He's Brooke in One Piece, he's the narrator in How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, he's Sugimoto in Golden Kamuy, and one of my favorite lines ever, he's Rin Nikaido in Bento. The man I've called my rival is a pervert. Stop yelling, you're causing a scene.
Oh, my God.
Bit character, no one else remembers this guy, but I do.
It's like Rika Fajardo showing up with the End of Taboo tattoo for no reason.
Megan, take it away.
I hate when you talked about Liwa, and you want to know the one thing that popped into my head when you said that?
What?
I'm pretty sure Hardy's gonna know this song. Probably Jackson, because Jackson's also a degenerate. Chi-chi-chi-chi, oh-pie, boing, boing. I'm sorry. No, every time somebody cosplays as Liwa, it's like, why don't you cosplay Mao Mao? And it's them just doing it for their boobs.
You gotta do the dance, too.
Move over, Withers. We have a new Big Naturals queen.
Oh, my God.
Liwa's Big Naturals. I'll start with Zed. Alex and Chris each do their own thing, and you can tell that it's two different people if you know Chris and Alex's voices. I will say that they of all the Libra members, kind of get the least amount to do outside of Dog and Teldro. Because not only do they show up at, like, the end of their seasons, but the respective episodes, I do really like the episode where you learn how Zed came to be and how he came out, but he is quite literally just fucking Abe Sapien from Hellboy, not Hellsing. But I really like their performance. It's got this very, like, chill attitude to it. He is very much the straight man to whatever the fuck's going on with Zap.
A lot.
One of the best episodes in season 1 is Zap attempting to haze Zed by taking him to a bunch of shitty restaurants. And it's like, Alex's delivery to, wait, you're gonna go in the sushi restaurant and eat other fish? It's like, fish eat other fish, guys. What the fuck do you want from me?
It's called the food chain.
It's the food chain, guys. Chris's performance is really good too. The episode where they're trying to get his headphones back so that he can make the New Year's party, which really is probably one of my favorite things that Leo does in the whole show. We'll talk about Leo when we get there. Chain is the best female character in the show. I absolutely love Trina Nishimura as Chain. She is such an asshole, and I support women's wrongs. Trina Nishimura has an amazing drunk voice. The episode where all the werewolves drink the entire restaurant out of their wine cellar. Peak shit. And I also love that she just goes invisible by literally erasing herself from existence, and the only way to get her back is to have Steven open her door, and it quite literally turns into, please don't tell anybody how this is how I live. Just her calling Zap a bitch all the time because he is one. Trina nails it. Like, she is so charismatic and nonchalant, and also the best person to be there. And I love the episode where they go back to get Zed's headphones, because it's clear that he means a lot to them. Phil Parsons is Klaus. This is probably what really made me realize that Phil Parsons was a good actor. I'm sorry, I'm not a child of the Dragon Balls. I was raised on the mean streets of Fruits Basket. I especially love season 1 Klaus. There is such a debonair attitude to this man that Phil makes seem effortless. Klaus is not a violent person, though he could quite literally just annihilate this entire world and we would say, yes, sir. But that level of compassion and him always believing in the best in others, even when the people around him are terrible, like, this man still employs Zap.
Yeah.
The best 2 episodes that really exemplify this is the 99-hour chess game, where he puts his life on the line for the worst person on Earth, a Russian mafia boss. And when he climbs the building like fucking Die Hard style when the bugs. I know other people feel more about Klaus than anything. And then there's Ian, who is probably the other person who steals this entire dub. Ian Sinclair is pouring every level of sleaze, bile, and slime into everything that Zap does, which is why when he is actually kind of cool, it hits really well. Peak Zap moments include focusing so hard he gets a boner that can be seen on infrared because he thought a girl was looking for his number. Abusing Leo for pizza. Getting his dick nearly turned into a balloon animal. Everything that happens to Zap is because he's an asshole and Karma loves him. I had a terrible thought in my brain of imagine putting Zap from Blockade Battlefront into Futurama and putting Zap Brannigan from Futurama into this show. I absolutely love Ian's performance. This is... I think if Space Dandy didn't exist and One Piece didn't exist, I would say that this is probably, like, one of his signature roles. If you had to ask me, like, what is one of the best Ian Sinclair performances of all time, I would probably say this. There is not an ounce of energy that went to waste in his performance. It is bombastic, it is crass, it is abrasive, but that's the way that the character is, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Stephanie.
Oh boy. I'm gonna start with Trina, because Trina is sassy as fuck. Trina is sassy as fuck, and I love every moment that she's on screen. Shane gives 0 fucks about anything. Well, correction. She does care, but she doesn't let you show it. And Trina plays that very, very well. She tries to keep a lot of her, like, insecurities and some of her, like, weak points on the down low. So that way nobody knows anything about her on a personal level. Which is great. Which is fun. But then when she lets people in and things like that, it kind of ends up being some of the sweeter moments. Like, for instance, there's the episode where Leo gets his wallet stolen, and Chain just watches. She doesn't do anything to help him. But later on, she meets the guy who stole the wallet at a bar and challenges him to a drinking match. The goal is try and outdrink her in as many shots as possible. He fails fucking miserably. And she wins and gets the wallet back for Leo. So Chain, like, she cares, but in her own way. But she also she likes to be a dick to Zap. And let's be real, Zap deserves it.
It is always morally correct to be mad at Zap Brannigan. Zap Renfro.
You did it again.
Zap Brannigan. It is definitely morally correct to hate on Zap Brannigan.
Ha! Now you fucking did it!
I know, but I did that on purpose. I like Trina. She's phenomenal. It's such a fun time. Alex Organ and Chris Waycamp. Here's the thing with this. Remember, when we watched it as it aired, you had Alex Organ in season 1, and then you have, I think it was like 2-3 years before season 2. By this point, Alex Organ had stopped doing anime voiceover work, and Chris Waycamp became the voice match. I think by this point, he had already voice matched for Aizawa in My Hero as well, so it became natural that Waycamp stepped in to voice Zed. So, between the 2 seasons, it doesn't feel like much of a difference. But this is also when we're not as familiar with Waycamp either, right? Years later, when we have heard a lot more Waycamp, and now Alex Organ coming back into the scene as well. And also, mind you, as well, let's add the cherry on top of the fucking sundae. There's this little show called Pop Team Epic. Where, if I'm correct, there's an episode in season 2 where we had both Alex Organ and Chris Waycamp voicing Popko and Peepamy in the same fucking episode together.
Let's see if this is true.
I believe
Episode 8?
It is.
Episode 8B?
I'm pretty sure.
Episode 8.
So that's just the cherry on top of the goddamn sundae, where you have both of them voicing in the same episode together, where Waycamp has voice matched for Alex on multiple occasions, which is hilarious. Doing the show over the years have really acquainted us with these voice actors and their range and their performances, and we've definitely have grown more and more accustomed to Waycamp specifically, because Waycamp had become more and more prominent as the podcast was growing at the same time. So we are super fucking familiar with Chris Waycamp's range and his vocal talent. So watching both seasons back to back, you can tell there are differences. But both Alex and Chris do still make the role their own, which I think is very, very fun and unique for them to each do. Alex doesn't have as much time with Zed as Waycamp does, because Zed comes in, I think, in like the last third of season 1. The most that Alex gets to really play with Zed O'Brien is the hazing episode where they're going to the different restaurants. And Alex plays it as kind of like chill, kind of nonchalant, just more casual in a way. And then you have Waycamp, who is still a bit more chill and casual, but Zed you get a bit more from, particularly with the episode about the New Year's party and the breathing apparatus and all this fun stuff. Waycamp gets to have a bit more complexity, and you get to see a side of Zed that's a bit more pitying, because Zed has been locked up for so long, and it's only until, I forgot the character's name.
The Master.
The Master. He basically frees Zed and kind of like brings him on in. So it's one of those situations where like Zed gets to like experience the world for the first time. And Waycamp gets to bring in more of the childlike curiosity to Zed compared to what Alex got to do, because you have more context with Zed's character because of it. So they each bring their unique spin on Zed O'Brien, and I very much appreciate that. But both versions are still very well done, and I enjoy them very much. If we ever got a sequel season or some shit, I'd be curious to know how the fuck that would go down, but I digress. I'm gonna talk about Ian next, because this piece of shit. Zap Renfro is a piece of fucking shit, but god damn it do I love Ian Sinclair playing this piece of fucking shit. There's not much more I can really add to Zap. Ian's really good at playing the manic energy characters. That's always been like a bread and butter for Ian. But Zap also is this like crass sexual deviant who is like confident in himself and is self-centered, but is the stupidest motherfucker in the room.
You need to be tested for everything.
Correct. And Ian just plays that so beautifully and brilliantly. And I can kind of agree with Megan, if it wasn't for like roles like Space Dandy or even Brooke, I would consider Zap one of the highlights for Ian in his career.
Like if you had to Mount Rushmore it.
Right, no, Zap would be there, 100%. But I want to talk about Phil Parsons and Klaus on Reinhardt's. I had a conversation with Andrew while I was watching this, and I just look at Andrew, I'm like, hey Andrew, would you consider Klaus von Reinhardt's a himbo character? And he's like, you know, an argument could be made for this.
He's too smart.
He's got the energy for it, though.
Yes, but he's too smart.
He's a little airheaded, but he's clever and debonair.
This man can play like 7-dimensional regular chess.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's hyper-focused.
He's hyper-focused, but he is a bit of an airhead.
He's got his
sometimes.
hyperfixation.
He's also got massive tits.
Thank you.
Yeah, so does your girlfriend, Andrew. Doesn't make her a himbo.
Okay.
I don't know about Hembo, but I definitely think he is on the spectrum, technically.
That I can see. 100% I can see him on the spectrum. But no, that's like the general vibe that Klaus gave to me when I was rewatching this show, is possible himbo energy. It's mostly because of the airheaded nature that Klaus does display. So here's the thing with Phil Parsons. While Phil Parsons has been in the game for like so long, I am also not a child of the Dragon Ball age. So going into Blockade Battlefront, for me, this was like, in my mind, the biggest introduction to Phil Parsons at that time. And ever since, this to me has been quintessential Phil Parsons. This is and has always will be my absolute favorite Phil Parsons role, bar none. Klaus is the strong leader, very determined, very motivating. He's also silly and adorable and has his moments of, again, airheadedness. But, like, I can't picture Klaus any other way. I can't picture Klaus sounding any different than what Phil Parsons pulled off with the role. Klaus, with the exception of one more character we're gonna get to shortly, Klaus is probably my favorite performance of the show, honestly. And this is, again, my absolute favorite Phil Parsons role, and there's nothing else that's gonna compete with that for me.
Hardy.
Yes.
Tell us more.
All right, I'm going to try to be brief because I know we're running a little bit long here. I think everyone just did really, really great, especially these characters who we get to see more of along the 2 seasons. Trina Nishimura is really fun as Chain. I like her, how she and Ian Sinclair as Zap have their little bickering between them. And Ian Sinclair as Zap Renfo is just hilarious. It sort of brings back, if you could round him up with both Space Dandy and Favreau Leone from Rage of Bahamut.
Oh, fuck, you right.
Favreau!
I know that's technically Chris Rager, but still.
Yeah, but he's a lot of fun. We don't really hear a lot from Zed, but between Alex and Chris, what lines are there are well delivered. And again, Klaus von Reinhardt's is just one of my favorite anime characters. Completely underrated. It's a shame this show did not blow up, because more people need to know who Klaus von Reinhardt is. And what I wanted to say is, I wouldn't say he's airheaded, I would say he's absent-minded.
Okay. Yep.
As far as Klaus is...
That makes more sense.
Yes, because he's very intelligent, but he's also very easily distracted and doesn't always pay attention to his usual duties. But when he needs to, he is 100% there. So, yes, Klaus von Reinhardt is one of my favorite anime characters for very good reason. And Phil plays him well. That's me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I'll start with Shane as well. Shane gives her this great, detached vibe through much of the first season, which I think goes hand in hand with her power set, where she is trying to erase herself and go into the background, so much so that invisibility transcends into erasing herself from causality, where she starts to disappear from people's memories and shit. That's a really fun power set. It reminds me of writing fanfic in high school, and I would make a character with that kind of phasing Shadowcat power. And she gets to do some creative stuff with it, like the totem that brings you back. The one thing that would bring her back to reality is, oh, the guy she likes is coming over. I need to clean up now. Please.
And I love the fact that they don't know why they're doing it at first.
Yeah, it's progressed so far, they've forgotten why. They just have this piece of paper written down and a script to read out. I don't know why we're here, but we're going to do this. Shane, I've come to visit you. Why did I get hit for doing that? That episode's also great for having her intervene around town, exert her influence a little bit on, the hamburger alien. I am the god of cheeseburgers. Listen to what I say.
Oh, yeah.
Really just fun, cutesy stuff that she gets to do there. Really creative use of her power sets. When she's stealing back the headphones, she threatens to put rusty nails in Jill Harris's veins, which is a metal as fuck line.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun character. Untouchable, unapproachable. Great barbs trading with Zap. For Zed, it feels like he got teased in episode 1, so we're spending 10 episodes waiting to get to the fireworks factory before we finally get some stuff with Zed. I think as far as the nuances with the character, it might just be the material that they're getting given. Alex is feeling more Ape Sapien and Waycamp's feeling more Shape of Water.
Okay.
I think is where my head is at with the vibe. It's all Guillermo del Toro either way. I do really like that Alex in the finale gets some good lines to give to Leo. They're calling Leo normal. You're normally very humble. You're normally very honest and earnest, and all these admirable traits that are totally normal to Leonardo, which would feel insincere coming from anyone else in Libra. So I'm glad that Zed was there to give those lines. That was delivered by Alex, and you got to carry that really well. Waycamp, I don't have much more to say about. He got to enjoy his episode and be like, guys, come on. If you had just talked to me first, we could have avoided this whole mess. I survived for a while without this apparatus. I know what I'm doing. Talk to me first about my disability before you go off and cause trouble. Ian Sinclair as just the most petulant child he could be. God, he does have some really great freakouts and like nastiness, and I really love when things are not going Zap's way and he's just like muttering under his breath. This is everybody else's fault. Why do I have to fucking go? He's got a sword in his mouth and be like, boss, please save me. It's one of his great freakouts over the phone. It's like, please help me. Yeah, I love when things are not going his way. He unfortunately does get to look very cool for some select few moments, so we have to put some respect on his name, I guess. No, it's weird I think there's some episodes in season 2 where he acts worried about Leonardo, and that feels wrong. That doesn't feel in character for Zap. Because I'm thinking back to episode 2 where Zap got assigned to be his bodyguard, and they're thinking like, oh, he did all that stuff for me. And they're just cutting to all the parts where Zap was stealing his pizza and being an absolute dick. I don't believe you when you say that Zap has concern for another human being. Which, is a testament to that character, that he can be that complete asshole, and we still enjoy watching. Klaus von Reinhardt's my man crush. What a guy. What a perfect specimen. I think I like anyone in a suit, really. He does have some great presence and authority and motivational speeches to give. Like we've been talking about the Prospera game, the alien chess even, that evolves as you go along. It feels like a game of Warhammer or something. He gives off some lines that remind me the most of Vash the Stampede in the series for the Trigun comparisons. Like,
oh, yeah, I see that.
I don't care that this guy was going to screw me over. I have made my decision. Even if it risks me in my life, I will act heroically in this moment. I will save him. I will do what I came here to do, because don't judge humans for being weak and careless. They act out of self-preservation all the time. We have to give grace. I have decided that I will not let that affect how I live my life. And that's the hope and emotional core and center that gets him through that 99-hour ordeal. And then he just gets to beat up a bunch of thugs in a boxing ring, and that's just awesome. The bare-knuckle boxing episode is just a whole lot of fun.
Speaking of Zap being an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ropes him into it unbeknownst to him, and Klaus is just rolling with it. Yeah, I could beat up Chris Sabat. Chris Sabat gets knocked out of the ring and they has to fight some more aliens instead. I love that testosterone energy of those kinds of episodes of, we're just two guys and we're gonna beat each other with our bare fists. Bare knuckle fever. It's a whole lot of fun. We can get into it a little bit more with Leonardo, but there's a moment in the finale that did have me sobbing, and it's because Klaus is there. And he tells Leo that he is so proud. And something about that and the release of tension did have me just crying my eyes out. And I think that wouldn't be there without Phil Parsons as Klaus.
Klaus gives off big old man energy, yet he's only 28.
A proud father of 28. I do also really love his power set of sealing people with true names. That's just a cool thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
In fiction, I think of the Ursula K. Le Guin series of Ursi and stuff, where true names confer power. Mm-hmm. And that's real cool. Yeah, my real only complaint about this dub in general is the attack names. Because they're in a different language and they're mixed down a little bit, I think. No one ever gets to enunciate them very well. So I have trouble understanding what they're saying. That's the only chink in this armor at all. No, love Klaus. Love all these lovable weirdos. Okay, we should continue on with our last group of characters. We're talking about the King of Despair and his villainous plot, aka Black. We're talking about Black's twin sister, White. We're talking about Leonardo Watch, the hero of our story, Tortoise Knight, and we're talking about his sister, Michaela Watch. Playing these characters, we have Sarah Wiedinghoff as Michaela Watch. You would know as Phospholaito in Land of the Lustrous. Lily Hoshikawa in Zombieland Saga, the number one fear of all TERFs. And she's Power in Chainsaw Man. Playing Black and the King of Despair is Micah Solasad playing both these characters. Playing the younger Black, I've thrown in here as well, is Afia Yu. Micah you'd know as Kobe in One Piece, the older one. He's in Yona of the Dawn as Suwon, and he's Soul Eater Evans in the eponymous Soul Eater. Afia Yu has played the younger version of their partner in Myriad Colors Phantom World, Ping Pong the Animation, and Red Data Girl, where they're playing the same character as Micah. White is played by Megan Emmerich, who has not been in the anime scene much since this came out. She was in Citrus as Nina Tachibana, and you would all know this series. She was in Sky Wizards Academy as Chloe Sevigny.
Oh no.
I drank to forget Sky Wizards Academy.
I drink to forget.
That was the reaction I was hoping for.
Oh boy.
And as Leonardo Watch, our main character is Aaron Dismuke. Aaron has played such characters as Pico in Ping Pong the Animation. Around this time, he was playing the protagonist in Corpse Princess of Uri Kagami. And he's, of course, now a Shonen Jump protagonist with Shenko Ishigami in Dr. Stone.
And of course, he was the original voice of Alphonse Elric in the first...
Alphonse Elric.
Alphonse.
Before puberty hit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is, of course, in that odd period where he's just getting over his puberty voice, which is still very present in a character like Corpse Princess. Hardy, would you like to go first?
Sure. I'd have to say, out of these roles, while it's not bad, I'd have to say the weakest was probably Megan Emmerich as White. And I'm not saying it's bad, but you could tell compared to the other actors that she was a little bit green at the time. She hadn't really done much, and hasn't done much since. But I think she was fine. I know that in the second to last episode, she had a lot of heavy dialogue she had to go through. And while it had its moments to where it wasn't all that great, I think she did it generally very well. Maiku Solasad pulling off a double role as both Black/William Macbeth and Blank the King of Despair. We don't actually know his name. He's not called Blank, it's just 5 asterisks. It's just literally left blank. But he has some really, really incredible acting and range in the final episode during his fight with Klaus and his confrontation with Leonardo. And just, you're listening to him fight himself mentally and just inner turmoil that he's having to go through in order to not only free himself from his possession, but also to have to go through losing his sister and keeping Leonardo and saving the city. And he does a really spectacular job there. And Afia does a really good job during the flashback points for his character. Sarah Wiedenheft, in the few times we get to hear from Michelle, especially in the season 2 finale, she was really great. She's sort of busting Leo's balls, trying to make sure that he's still staying safe in the city. I think it was really maybe it's just me, because I'm close to my siblings, but I got a little fuzzy feeling when they run up to each other and he gives her a hug, because he hasn't seen her in forever. I thought that was really sweet.
No, I got the fuzzy feeling too.
Yeah. But yeah, this was the role that made Aaron Dismuke a household name, or I should say, should have been, because this was one of his first lead roles, and I think he just absolutely nails it. And you can tell by some of Leonardo's reactions why Aaron eventually had to get his voice repaired, because Leo has some moments to where he is just running for his life, screaming his head off. And it is so much fun to listen to, especially when he buys his new Xbox and he's excited to play it. And
X, double X,
Double X! Double X!
double X, double X.
and we never know if he gets to replace it. But,
Yep.
if you took my Xbox, I'd get mad too.
Being Leonardo Watch's suffering.
It is nothing but pure suffering. You would think he would leave Hellsalem's lot, but no.
No.
Another thing that's not related to the voice acting, but, this is more or less for the mixing itself. I really love the sound effect when he opens his eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen some compilations of every time Leo opens his eyes, and all the comments are this sound effect is straight sex.
I want that not as my ringtone, but I want that as my message notification.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyways, everyone did a really good job on this dub, and I think it's great.
Steph.
I'm going to start with Sarah and Megan. I'm going to start with the sisters. Because both of them, more Sarah than Megan, don't have exactly as much to do. Sarah's Michaela is very sweet, very endearing, but sassy as shit. Like Hardy was saying, Michaela gives Leo, like, grief every now and again, and acts just like a little sister would to her big brother. It's like, listen, Leo, what are you doing? Like, I told you that you need to take care of yourself. What is wrong with you? Like, she acts like a little sister would, and it's so fun and adorable, and I think Sarah's precious and cute. Megan Emmerich is white. I do have to agree with Hardy that you can tell in a spectacular dub like this that Megan's performance is among one of the weaker sides, but it's more because you can tell how green she is. She does come into her own, though, as white by the end of the first season, and I think by the time you get to the flashback scene, and 100% by the time you get to the climax of season 1, that final episode, where she nails those moments and those beats wonderfully and plays off of both Micah and Aaron beautifully. But yeah, you can tell, especially early on, where some of the greenness is showing, which is never a bad thing. We all have the growing pains. It happens. Micah as Black. Micah having to play dual characters is such a treat. Micah gets to play with his range quite a bit with both of these characters, because tonally speaking, you have Black, aka William Macbeth, this kind of a little bit dorky, kind of naive, big brother type of character, and then you have Blank, the King of Despair, who's a bit more dark, more menacing. Tonally, Blank leans more into his Soul Eater Evans voice, a bit more than Black does, while Black leans more into, I think, Yuki in Noragami. It leans into more that tone of voice a bit. So it's fun to see the duality there. And him playing off of himself is also a fun treat, because you do have a couple of moments where he is playing against himself in scenes as well. And him just arguing with himself. We shouldn't be doing this. What are you trying to do? Just leave my sister alone. And he's like, listen, kid, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. You have no say in the matter. Your sister also is the one who told me, go ahead, to let me do this. That way she could save her precious big brother. So suck it up, Buttercup. Like, it's... Micah is another tour de force throughout the whole course of the show, and I think it's just so much fun to watch him go through so much with this character. To say that Aaron Dismuke, I think, had a little bit of a renaissance with Blockade Battlefront, because if I'm correct, Leonardo was probably the first big role he had in several years, and especially post-puberty. Post-puberty being the key part here. Because up until this point, while he had some roles here and there, they weren't as big compared to Alphonse, compared to Hiro Soma from the original Fruits Basket. Like, he didn't have as big of roles compared to when he was a literal child. But Blockade Battlefront was the first instance of him post-puberty and as an adult really stepping into his own as an actor, as a performer, and as his full-on voice. It shows how much growth he had over the years from when he was a younger star to now. And even then, from Leonardo Watch, all the way to now, when you see him going into things like Senku from Dr. Stone, when you see him going into things like Chigiri from Blue Lock being a huge thing, because I know we just briefly discussed him having to go through vocal surgeries and repairs and things like that because of the extensive damage that he had been causing over the years to his vocal cords. Like, Leonardo Watch is a fucking tour de force, to say the least. From the hyperactive, like, screaming and freaking out, and the comedic timing that Aaron has, to some of the more somber and serious and dramatic moments that Aaron got to put on full display. I think Leonardo Watch became a huge, like, welcome back for Eren into the voice acting realm, and it reintroduced him to old fans, like you and me, but also introduced him to a newer, younger generation of fans that are now growing up with him in his new era, so to speak. So, Eren is my other favorite performance in this entire show, honestly, because of the tour de force that he had to go through with Leonardo Watch, because Lord Almighty, this is a hell of a role that he manages to pull off very, very well, and it definitely, for Eren, I feel like was the start of something great for him in the past decade, for sure.
So I'll start with Sarah as Michaela. I think she was great. I love that she's a baller to tackle a giant demon.
Hell yeah!
Fuck bitches.
Fuck bitches, get money.
This girl is a trooper. I think she does a really good job. I wish that Michaela was in the show more, but when Sarah is around, she does great, and I love when Sarah kind of gets to use her natural, like, adult woman voice. Super cool about that. I really like Megan Emmerich as White. I know everyone thinks she's probably the weakest part of the show, and she probably is, but I think that episode 11 of Blockade Battlefront is one of the most perfect episodes of anime ever fucking made. I absolutely love the story of William and Mary Macbeth, that they come together despite her jealousy and his fear, and that the very idea of ever losing the other one would absolutely destroy them, especially after losing their parents. And that poor White has been what's keeping Hellsalem's lot together the entire time. And nobody's really known it. Maybe the other psychics have, but who knows. I love that she has this crass tomboyishness to her, that she picked up photography because she doesn't think her life is worth anything if she's not like her family, because she's the only one in her whole family who was born without powers. And she doesn't think that her life is as valuable until Black almost gives it up for her as a child, and they have this moment. Her death genuinely makes me cry every time. I think that it is so powerful and so heartwarming. And speaking of people's Mount Rushmore, this is by far, like, without a doubt, my favorite Micah Solusod performance of all time, and this is the performance that I was alluding to that just does not work in the Japanese for me. I think that the smartest thing the English dub does is have Black and White be played by two different people. I feel like there is something missing there, not having it be two people who have to act with each other instead of one person playing three different people. And Micah's handling of Black versus the King of Despair is just honestly chef's kiss. There is this level of malice and, like, there's like this sense of boredom the King of Despair has, where he is just bored with this world and bored with his failure and done with Aligula and Fempt, and they're both done with him for his plotting and planning being so slow and so meticulous. And there are these moments where you can just tell by the way that Micah inflects his voice which one's in control. Like, if you turned your head and didn't see the eye color, you could tell which one's in control just by the way that he speaks. William has this almost innocence to him. He's trying to keep it together for the sake of that innocent feeling. I can't live alone in this world without my best friend, who is my sister. And the absolute crying and despair that he has at the end, where he has to finally let his sister go. And I love that when he finally comes back in season 2, because Leo calls him finally at the end of, like, season 2, and he doesn't initially want to come back into the city because he doesn't think he can face it again. But when later on you see him at Vivian's diner and Leo's carrying him out like a little, like, Princess Carrie, that he's holding her cross and thinking of her. Like, I could spend hours just talking about the intricacies of Micah Solusod's performance in here. Like, the way that the pitch and timbre of his voice, like, everything. It's so perfect. I honestly think it's the best performance in the show by, like, a slight margin. And then there's Aaron Dismuke as Leo. Leonardo Watch is a type of character that I think a lot of people who are into modern anime, especially a lot of the younger generation of people, fucking hate because he cries too much and he screams and he whines, and those people can go fuck themselves. I am tired of the aura farmer glazing characters with no personality, or their personality is being an asshole and everybody loves them for it. Leonardo Watch is probably up there with Jacuzzi from Baccano as, like, two of the best cowards of all time in anime. Because they're not cowards, they're actually the realest, most bravest people of all, because they do the thing that is right, despite being afraid. And Aaron's voice definitely cracks a lot. I love the gravelly thing of Leo being done to all of this. That no matter what, he still looks up and is still so kind. When he delivers the thing about keep running towards the light at the end of season 1 is just so good. It's just so full of heart. You can tell it feels like he's run a whole marathon. But there are so many other little moments too, thinking back. Like, obviously the stuff with Nej, Don't Forget Me is probably another, like, highlight episode of this show. Absolutely fantastic vignette episode. When he's dealing with his friend that's turning giant, just the way that other people who know Leo that aren't Zap speak about him is just, like, a thing to his character. And I think Aaron really embodies that with his performance. It's one of those performances where I don't know if Aaron was moving around the booth the whole time, but I just imagine him, like, bouncing off the walls while still recording. Yeah, no, I absolutely love this, and genuinely two of my favorite performances in anime of all time. Like, if Steph can't imagine anybody but Phil Parsons playing Klaus, I do not like imagining anybody other than Aaron playing Leo and Micah playing Black in The King of Despair.
I agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Sarah Wienhoff as Michelle. I am glad we have season 2 to get more of Michelle Watch and to get to see this brother-sister relationship actually play out, besides them being demonstrated via foil through Black and White in season 1. They do have a great relationship. I like that they address that Leo's not just writing her letters to the blind person, he is recording them after writing them. She does have that great moment in episode 1 from If You Have to Take It From Me. She's the heroic, self-sacrificial, I will do this thing for other people. Yeah, and she comes back to the city to bust his balls, and she's full of hope and happiness, and, hey, come meet my fiancé. We are in love. She cries over his bedside, is very proud of her Tortoise Knight older brother. Yeah, like, great having that framing device there of writing the letters to Michelle, because she is his light. Megan Emmerich as White is very green, is very unpolished. I think it works for this character. She feels like young and immature and unsure of herself, and, you know, kind of in limbo for much of this, which leads to a lot of great, vulnerable, intimate moments with her. Like, the first line she gets about, I'm a ghost, is still excellent and cute and mysterious and, like, what's going on? Let's be friends, Leonardo. I love that they bond over watching Twins.
Yes, I was gonna mention that and I forgot to. What a fucking movie for him to take her to see. Absolute classic.
And she's just sitting there like Demi DeVito, like, I get it now. She's crying over this movie as they're talking about comparing dick sizes. If you love all this Western stuff, Naito and the people making this show love it too. You know, Twins, Pacific Rim, Hellboy, Venom, all of these things. Yeah, and they have these great intimate moments of bonding. I love the end of that scene where they start talking about their siblings. And she goes, you're a great guy, Leonardo, after they've had this big fight. And then she scoots over to him and ropes him in for a one-handed hug. It's moments like that that really make this show. I'm glad we have these original characters in there to give it that vulnerability, that humanness, that human element. Because otherwise we just have these big comic book, superpowered, heroic team, big, larger-than-life personalities going on. We need these human moments and we need this structure to really make the show sing. Micah Solisad as William in Black and King of Despair. He is playing to his ranges, to his strengths really strongly. His voice is also kind of cracking like we were talking about with Leonardo, especially on the Black character. I love when any of these characters gets a big, like, laughing with their entire chest, especially the King of Despair. We get to kind of set up this group of characters to compare the season finales, and the season 2 finale makes more sense. I have a grasp of the events that are occurring. Season 1's finale is more emotionally impactful. It's that thing of, like, the greatest movie of all time is not the movie that makes the most sense. There's also plot holes in this of like, what the fuck was he doing with the eyes of the god? What the fuck was any of his plan? Why did he go back on it? All of this stuff.
Oh, I think he used the eyes of the god to find the barrier.
Exactly. It is difficult to follow, in contrast to the R1, where it's this villain that only Leonardo can see, and he is alone and needs to help his sister out of the situation and be her knight. And that's fine too. It's just not as emotionally impactful as climbing up from the depths of hell, out of the catacombs, back out into the city.
On Halloween, when I think the episode aired.
During Halloween, even, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have too much more to say on Micah Solusod and Afi Yu playing the younger version through the episode 11 stuff. They are great. They get paired like that oftentimes for a reason, because they're very good at emulating the other's mannerisms. Aaron Dismuke as Leonardo Watch. This is his best role of all time, in my opinion. What a great character. What a great protagonist. He is a heroic coward. He complains the whole time, but he never turns back. He's, as Klaus instills in him in the first episode, and he tries to instill in White afterwards, he's always going to struggle towards the light. If you can take even a single step forward, and they repeat that theme in the season 2 finale of he's never going to take a step backward, he's going to stay planted and wait, watch for his moment, and still struggle forward no matter what happens. Really excellent, heroic writing. Hilarious character as well. For all the narration or Barb's trading with Zap, he doesn't let anyone else bully him in Libra, especially not Zap. But yeah, his greatest role of all time, I think, because of that moment in the finale, which I alluded to earlier, which the other half of this is Klaus, is finally called out to White. She gets inspired by Leonardo and the motivation he gives her to help her brother, and they pass on together. And then there's just this release of tension as Klaus says, I'm so proud of you. You did all this. By being normal, by doing all these things that come easy to you, you've saved the day and you did it all on your own. And he just has that moment of, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I think he starts saying something like, and then he just breaks down. And that moment's so good. I'm getting impacted a little bit right now, actually, thinking about it.
No, it's a good scene.
Yeah. That's why this is his best role. Him calling out to White, shouting at the top of his lungs. Yeah, he destroyed his voice doing that. What the hell? There's a very similar moment where just earlier in the episode, Sonic comes in with the camera to be like, you need to save White. This is the message that she left for you. And he just starts laughing and then breaks into a scream immediately following that. Such a gut punch of what the fuck is happening to me.
Right.
Yeah, he saves the day by being normal. He's not playing games with Femt. He's not playing any games. He's struggling towards the light and rushing to save the day. Our little tortoise knight. I know, for Aaron, because I've told him this is my favorite role of his, and he's like, it is second only to Senku for him.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
It's great stuff. This has been a long episode. Would we like to move into final thoughts, starting with Hardy?
If you have not watched this yet, absolutely watch it. I know the DVDs or Blu-rays, I think, are out of print, but you can still find them reasonably priced.
I had an easy time getting the Blu-rays for this episode because I found my discs were not working, and I ordered it off of Amazon.
Oh no, I need to go check my discs then. But I would also recommend, one thing we didn't talk about is that really underrated is the soundtrack.
Yes.
The music's so fucking good.
The music in this show...
I also own the CD for this series.
I have it. My jewel case is autographed by Aaron Dismuke, in fact.
Nice.
Now, I've been running around playing it in my car since I've been watching this. Yeah, it is so there. There's the only one track I have to skip because it has this sound that sounds like licking.
Ew.
It was the one that played at Steven's party. It's a sound like I think it's supposed to be an old vinyl record that's spinning, and it's making this noise. It's just, I can't stand it. The rest of the soundtrack is phenomenal.
Thanks, I hate it.
But yeah, no, go check out this dub. Go check out this show. This really should have gotten a Toonami run, but it didn't, which is one of the reasons I think it's not well known anymore.
I feel like they wanted it to have a Toonami run, and that's why they didn't throw in more F-bombs.
Probably.
That's my going theory.
Yeah. It still should have got a Toonami run. But yeah, it's most underrated anime of all time. TLDR, go watch it immediately.
I guess I'll go next.
Thank you, Megan.
I honestly think Blockade Battlefront, especially Season 1, is genuinely one of my favorite anime of all time. There is something so special about it that just hits in a way that I don't really get from a lot of modern anime. Not because they aren't trying, just because there was just something so special about Season 1 when it came out. I think that, for me, the dub just stands alone sometimes. There is so many things that came together to work so fucking well on this that I don't think would be replicated. And a lot of it goes down to the direction, the writing, just how perfectly cast everybody is. If you have never watched this show, I genuinely think you're missing out. I think so many more people should check this out. Overall, it's a great time, and if you haven't, you owe yourself to it.
TLDR, please go watch this show. It's fucking great. Long version of this. I am so happy we got to revisit this one. Again, I haven't watched the show since it originally aired years ago, and this just reminded me of how phenomenal the show is, of how fantastic the dub is, from the direction to the writing to the casting and the performances. This is the height of what an English dub can be, and it's absolutely like a masterclass in English dub. Like, I'm about to say lore or canon, and I'm like, that's not the words I want, but this is where we're going, I guess. But, I am so delighted to have gotten to revisit the show, and I'm very happy that Jackson, you decided to go with this show to revisit, honestly. You are doing yourself a disservice if you have not seen this show. I'm hoping it's at least easily accessible to find and watch. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it still is.
Okay, good. Because I haven't looked into
I watched it on Crunchyroll.
Same here.
It's fine.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure, because we have the Blu-ray sets, so I broke those out. But no, yeah, I 100% think you guys need to do yourself a solid and watch this show. It is so much fun. It is such a delight. And my cat is currently clawing at the door, which means it's almost time to wrap this shit up. Please go watch Blockade Battlefront. You are doing yourself a disservice by not watching it.
I had the run of the lot, and I picked the best one. This is up there on the Mount Rushmore of best dubs of all time. With all the other B anime, Bebop, Black Lagoon, Beck, Brotherhood, Baccano, this one wins by having the most B's in the title. Blockade Battlefront and Beyond. No, just so much fun getting to revisit this show. It is a modern classic of an anime. Everything's working perfectly in harmony together to give a beautiful end result. It feels like a city that's alive in wonderful fashion. Yes, the soundtrack is amazing. The vibes are immaculate.
Soundtracks that fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have sex to this. It would probably go pretty hard. That'll do. Soundtracks that fuck.
It's magic.
Soundtracks that slap.
Yeah, as we were just saying, the series is still available in Blu-ray. You can get a hold of it. I am not seeing it on the Crunchyroll store, so you'll have to look elsewhere like Amazon or another retailer. The manga is available in print for the first time since this series came out. That has been long out of print and is just getting reprinted now.
Oh shit, really?
Yes, Dark Horse is finally bringing it back.
Oh damn.
Yeah, they are doing it in omnibus style, like double volumes.
Ah, got it.
If you'd like to get a hold of the series that way. But before I tell you where you can find us and how you can support us, I would like to mention here that we have gotten news from Mike McFarlane's crowdfunding because he has been very ill for the past several months. He is suffering from a brain cancer. He got out of surgery, but he is not better yet. They are calling again for donations to help with his assisted living situation. So if you can donate, please do. You can find the crowdfunding through either Tatum or Brandon McGinnis, who have organized that on his behalf. But if you like to follow us, now we are the Dub Talk Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, wherever fine podcasts are sold. We have a Ko-fi account. We have a Patreon. We are on Blue Sky at Dub Talk Podcast. We're on the bad place of Twitter, occasionally at Dub Talk Podcast. We have a Patreon, of course, and I would like to thank our Patreons now and give them a shout out. Our $5 tier patrons, we have Bright Eyes 505, Quinoa Soup, Marissa Lenti, Megan's mom and
Hi,
dad,
parents.
and Michelle Travis. And our $10 tier of Anthony Brown, Carly Leskow, Julie W., Pika Greg, and Shoulder. Now, who are you and where can people find you?
My name is, Nathaniel Bandersnatch, and I own a chain of slaughterhouses across the tri-state area.
Damn
It's
it.
been a minute since you used that joke. Bringing it back.
Fireball!
But anyways, yeah, I'm Spaceman Hardy. You can find me at Spaceman Hardy at The Bad Place and occasionally on Blue Sky. I really don't do much these days outside the podcast other than retweet goat pictures and Final Fantasy art. So if that interests you, can find me there.
Stephanie?
Hello, my name is Stephanie. I'm also known on the internet as Lilac. You can follow me on The Bad Place, Blue Sky, on TikTok, all at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled R-E-V-U-E. Aside from the podcast, I have taken up the fun little hobby of being a small streamer on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitch also at Lilac Anime review again, spelled R-E-V-U-E. At the time of this recording, I just finished the Blue Lions route for Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I am in the middle of Date Everything and I the Somnium Files. But September, I'm probably going to shake up the stream schedule just a little bit. But swing on by, we have a lot of fun, and chaos, and cats, and stupidity. Yay.
Megan?
Hi, I'm Megan. You can follow me. I'm not on The Bad Place. I nuked my account there. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Queen Era. I am mostly retweeting skeeting over there. Different art. I'm playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV per always. Probably playing way too much League of Legends than the normal human should ever be allowed to. And I eventually want to start playing other games. I'm probably going to get back into playing Trails in the Sky on my personal time. It's a very fun game.
And I've been your host. I'm Jackson, Nineclaw Tiger in most places. You'll mostly just see me retweeting VTuber art. Sure, I'll give Gigi Marin a shout out this time around. A chaotic gremlin that's recently taken 3D form, so watch out. It is dangerous out there in Hellsalem's lot. And I've realized I don't have an exit strategy, so would you like to argue about which one's the better ending?
Yes!
Season 1. Oh, better ending song? Oh, Season 1.
I love those losers. I love that drunk party of losers.
Here's the real hot take. The opening is better than the ending.
That is extremely
I'm
hot.
sorry. The first OP is better than any of the EDs.
You know, if
You're
one
not
thing can
wrong.
be the enduring legacy of this show, it's Sugar Song and Bitter Step. We can at least appreciate that.
I still think Step Up Love is illegally sexy for this universe. It is too sexy to exist.
It's gonna get taken away by the Men in Black.
Oh, god damn it.
That's what happened. That's why everyone forgot about this show. We've cracked the case.
Oh shit, Will
We
Smith,
solved
he's
it,
approaching.
guys.
All right, now we have to cheese it before they get here and take us
Please
away
no.
again. Bye, everybody.
God, no, we just figured it out. Please, not again.
Yes!
What do you think, Mr. Kurobara?
Yes!
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Good night.